And welcome to the Football Social, brought to you by Sky Bet. We are here for what can only be described as a massive game in this season's title race. I'm delighted to be joined by a tremendous, look at this bench we've got here. You know,
what a lineup.
Doogie making his Football Social debut. You feeling good?
Yeah, very excited. Huge game.
Huge game, yeah. We have the Savage Dan to my right. You feeling good?
I'm happy. I think we'll be fine today.
Decent. And the legend is Adebayo Akinfenwa here to my left.
The two guys.
A legend.
I'm excited and I'm nervous, but thank you for having me again.
And the less legendary Will Brazier on the socials.
So same about this, same body mass.
You reckon, yeah?
Yeah. That's why I'm wearing this top. Didn't want to embarrass you there, Benno. So.
But obviously, the last time he was on the show, you got a bit excited, didn't you? I think we're about to see exactly what happened.
Me? I got excited.
Yeah. I think we're about to see what
Show me,
happened.
let me see. I can't remember that.
That's offside red.
Oh, is it? Oh,
What's the score?
He's offside.
What's the score?
No, he's offside, surely!
Yes! Yes! What's the score? Yes! Oh, snap! Oh, It's composure at the end, you see that? Composure at the end. Yeah, it was good, man. That's what football does. That's what my team does to me. It gets me nervous and that. But you lot didn't see. See, you only showing one part of it. You didn't see when Smitty scored, he was all up in my face. He's lucky I didn't. You know, all up in my face.
Gives it, but he can't take it.
You know what I'm saying? So I just had to give it back to him, you get me?
Scenes. Yeah, so anyway, we're going to go to results from the weekend so far. So, obviously, massive result just happened with Manchester City at the bottom. With a massive 3-1 win there, but obviously massive win for Spurs yesterday, 4-0. Terrible day for Brighton there at the bottom, who are, you know, obviously been dragged right back into that relegation scrap, haven't they? And obviously Manchester United looking strong, even though they didn't play particularly well, but that is them looking at least still in the fight for top four. And I think we're going to go to the table now. Obviously, the bottom, Fulham, Huddersfield already down. It's looking... Will, you've been saying the whole season that Cardiff is staying up.
Yes, mate.
Are you still not saying that?
I mean, dare to dream, as I always say, Dave, but I mean, since Sol Bamba left, it's all gone downhill for Cardiff. So, I mean, I do like Neil Warnock, but, yeah.
It's not good, is it? It's not good. As a massive win for Southampton yesterday as well. And obviously the top half of the... Oh, look at this, scenes. All right, here we go. So Arsenal play tomorrow. Massive game for us. We have to win. Chelsea today, do you feel like you have to win you know, if you don't win today or at least get something, do you think your top four hopes?
No, I feel like we can draw. I just don't feel like we can lose.
Yeah, OK.
I still think we'll win.
Yeah, today,
yeah? I still think we'll win.
Swear down.
Yeah. I'm not scared of Anfield one bit.
Swear down.
It's just now you've got Van Dijk, and that's a bit of a game changer. But I'm not sure if you've got a striker for him to mock.
Look, Anfield's a fortress. And look, I'm not going in, I'm not even going to talk this big talk before the game. I've seen it many, many times. But for you to say you ain't scared to come to Anfield the way we are at Anfield, well, that's saying something.
Why should I? Why should I? You know, we haven't lost there for years.
Yeah?
Years, like 7 years.
I say no more, but it's this year's the day, innit? You know what I'm
back in Bayer. Sorry,
say no
Danny.
more.
Do you know what it is? I'm just going off the thing in my head where I just don't feel like Liverpool have it when they need it. You know, I've seen it. I've seen slips. I've seen stumbles.
I don't use that, bro.
Well, I think we need to go to the team lineups now. I think we're going to start with Liverpool, who've made one change since the last league game. Obviously, Alisson in goal, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson at the back. Henderson coming in for Wijnaldum, and Fabinho and Keita midfield. Salah, Firmino and Mane, arguably the greatest front three in the league, I would say. Are you feeling the coming about lineup?
Yeah, I think Hendo played very well when he come on against Southampton.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's in from the beginning. And Keita, to be fair, he was a bit nervous.
Yeah. And
he's got into it. I liked him in the Champions League. He's got some game time. So I'm actually happy with that. And if it don't go right, we can always change it. So I'm happy with that. So Klopp, salute.
Salute. And I go to the Chelsea team. Again, I believe maybe just one change since the last league game. Obviously, we've got Kepa in goal, Azpilicueta, Rudiger, David Luiz, Emerson at the back, Kante, Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek, which is really good to see him in. William, Hudson, and Hazard kind of playing up top on his own to an extent. Are you feeling good about that?
It's a bit more of a wildcard team for Emerson in, Loftus-Cheek in, Hudson-Odoi in, no conventional striker. So they've got a plan. They've got a plan. So we'll just have to hope that, you know, Chelsea do what Chelsea usually do at Anfield, which is, you know, either go ahead and have Liverpool pull us back and just nick a draw. Yeah. But I'm not expecting a dominant performance from Liverpool today.
Okay. Well, these are obviously the scenes from Anfield now, as we can see with a split screen. Mo Salah, how important is this game for Mo Salah? Dukes, what do you reckon?
Absolutely massive. It's obviously against his former club, didn't have the best of time at Chelsea, obviously, but did play in that famous Gerrard slip game, which I didn't realise until quite recently. But yeah, he's just had another outstanding year. Not probably got the same plaudits as last year, obviously breaking the Premier League against Southampton last weekend. Yeah. Really great finish. And that whole front line has just been lethal this year once again. Particularly Mane's really stepped up this year. I think he's now on 17 goals in all comps. Just been awesome. So yeah, lots of danger there for Sarri to contend with.
Cool. Oh, I think we're going to social call now with Will. First of all, can you tell everyone how they can get in touch? Because this is a social show, right?
Yes, mate. Get in touch at SoccerAM, at Football Daily, using the hashtag #TheFootballSocial. Get your questions in and we'll get them to the panel. Friend of the show, Jack, mate, is already in touch and he said, Smithy, it's your presenting... Smithy, not Smithy. He's talking about Smithy. He's saying Smithy is the best human being in the world, Dave. So how do you feel about that?
He's like a nice chap, isn't he?
He is a nice chap indeed.
On match of the day, but they were far from their best. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer admitted that afterwards, that they weren't anywhere near their best in terms of performance levels. I actually haven't really been that impressed with them since that PSG win. I think they've slightly slipped up in their performance levels at least, but they're still right in the mixture for top four. But yeah, 2 penalties, one of which was very lucky and one of which was just a calamity challenge from Fredericks. I don't know what he was doing, thinking of going in like that. But yeah, they got the win, which is all you need to do at this stage of the season.
Yeah, I think they don't care. Literally, it's a result time, you know. Performances, I get it, you know what I'm saying, it's a bonus. But I remember sitting here a little while and they were like 17 points off it, looked way off it. Right now, they're grinding out results, and that's all. And it's just, Arsenal now have to go get results. Tottenham have to go. And when you see them playing bad and still getting results, it's a pressure. So for me, I think United will wake up and be like, yeah, man, we played poor, but we got the results. So I think that's what you need to do at this time. It's just handle it. Don't matter how. And I don't care. Liverpool can play crap today. If they win 1-0, I'm guitaring your leg. You get what I'm saying?
It's a long guitar, let me tell you. Dan, question for you. What do you make of Eden Hazard playing centre forward, and what do you think of him? Because he's not very fond of the role either.
Yeah, I don't think he is, but I think he can play it well because he drops deep. He plays in that position where a defender doesn't know whether they should go in with him or whether one of the midfielders should pick up. So at the very least, I think it will create a little bit of confusion. And then you've got Willian and Hudson-Odoi running in behind as well. So even though he's not particularly fond of it, he knows it well. And it will cause a bit of mayhem.
Do you think he'll be there come next season?
Honestly, deep down, I don't.
No.
Deep down, I'd love him to. You know, I'll find him 600 grand a week or whatever it is he needs. But I don't think it's about the money either. I think it's just that he loves Madrid and he needs Madrid at this point.
And loves Zidane as well.
Yeah.
Dream move.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really begrudge him at that move as a Chelsea fan. He's done such wonders for that club. Could have left multiple times. And just an unbelievable year once again. 16 goals, 12 assists, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Dukes, are you ready for your first ever Sky Bet prize boost, mate?
I am,
Are you ready? Because I've got a lovely one up my sleeve for you right now.
Okay, nice.
Salah and Hazard both to score in 90 minutes. Was 15-2. It's now 10-1. Sure, that is worth a tenner.
Yeah, definitely. Get betting on that. That's a great bet.
Take a slice of that all day long.
Yeah, obviously, you have to be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions do apply. See the websites for the odds as they happen in real time. So there you go. That's my first ever prize boost.
There you go.
What do you reckon? I feel now I'm now fully into the role now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Prize boost out the way. Just 90 minutes of football to get on with.
Lovely. You know what I mean? So, are we ready for some score predictions?
Big time.
Dukes, you want to kick off?
Yeah, I'm going 3-1 Liverpool with Sadio Mane to score first. I'm hoping for a classic. I think there's going to be goals in this one.
Dan?
I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea.
Who's scoring first?
I think Hazard scores first. I think Mane scores second. And I think Olivier Giroud off the bench scores third.
Oh, not bad.
That's not bad, actually.
And I'm going for...
It's not going to happen, but it's not bad.
And I'm going to go for Liverpool 2-0 win with Mo Salah getting the first goal. Big man.
I'm going Liverpool 2-1, and I'm going with Mane scoring the first goal.
You and me.
William?
Yeah. Well, I'll just do it for the content purposes. We live in a content world. Content is king, as we always say, Dave. So I've gone for 3-3, and I want this man to be playing my leg. Sounds dodgy, but it's not.
And we are literally seconds away from kick-off now. Hopefully it's a decent game. It's Liverpool to kick off at Anfield. Surely, this is must win, right? They cannot afford to drop any points here.
No, we need to win.
Yeah.
We need to win. I just want the Chelsea, that no mentality Chelsea, you know, the one where Sarri kept on getting at them.
Yeah.
That's the one I want to turn up. Any other time, I mean, I like the fact that Loftus-Cheek is playing, Hudson-Odoi, and I like that. You know, young British players, like, just
good, isn't it?
today.
It's exciting
I
to
just
see.
don't want them to do nothing today. I'm sorry, boys.
The way they've recovered from that, because they obviously had that really damaging loss to Everton, I think it was 2-0, and there was people calling for Sarri's head after that. And the way they've picked up since then has been really good. Although they didn't play fantastically as a team against West Ham on Monday, but it was still a 2-0 win. Hazard scoring both goals, one of which has to be a contender for goal of the season. Absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, it's delightful, wasn't it, dude?
It was just awesome.
Well, do you think like the turning point with Chelsea was probably the cup final, because they played really, really well.
Yeah, I think so.
They didn't win, but
I mean, I've got this thing about playing really well and deserving to win a game and not winning it, and I hate it. You know, sometimes I prefer to just lose a match after actually being bossed.
Didn't get a fresh start. You go again.
But as in, I feel like the best teams don't have to really turn up to win.
Nah.
I feel like the best teams can do it. You know, United did it yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way they should have got 3 points yesterday.
I'll tell you what, playing well and losing, there's a way of losing games.
Yeah.
There's a way of losing games. And what that confidence does when you play well and don't win, you know that it's a performance-based game over a period of time.
Yeah.
So you know there's going to be a team that's going to get a whooping when you've played and lost. Drop it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what I'm saying. Look, I get it. Each their own. Some people just like.
Do you know what it is?
If you play whack, when I play,
and we play really well and we deserve to win a match, and then we concede a terrible free kick and it goes in the 90th minute, I'm just so deflated. More than if we've been, it's been coming.
Yeah, no, I get that. But then don't you feel, all right, take out that 90-minute free kick that you lost. Everything else you can build upon.
Yeah, you can.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But for example, Chelsea have been bossed once this season, I'd say, bossed by City. And that was a little bit easier to accept because we just got absolutely hammered.
Just one game for that.
Yeah.
Like we said.
I'm Bournemouth, though. Don't forget about that, Dan. Sorry.
Yeah, we got bossed for 20 minutes. Bossed for 20 minutes, I'd say. But yeah, Chelsea do have that thing in them that is almost like a self-destruct button. That seems to get pressed.
Tends to have something to do with Marcus Alonso.
It does, yeah, usually. Yeah.
But luckily for Sarri and Savage Dan here, it's Emerson starting at left back today.
Yeah.
Which would be much better because
Alonso one of your best players.
He was, but you know what? Is he a conventional left back? And especially when you're playing alongside David Luiz.
I totally agree. Great in a 5.
Yeah.
But a liability defensively, I always think.
Do you see for both these teams, how much of an impact do you think European football's going to have? Because obviously both teams are playing again this week. Obviously, you just say that Liverpool in a slightly better position than what Chelsea in terms of their tie. But do you think it have much of an impact? Just open up. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, Chelsea obviously played on Thursday.
Yeah.
Whereas Liverpool played on Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday night. I think.
Tuesday night. Liverpool played very well against Porto. I thought it was pretty comfortable. The only slightly disappointing thing was that they didn't get more goals really. Yeah. And Klopp cleverly took off Firmino and Mane after about 58 minutes or so. And then I haven't seen Chelsea's highlights of their game against Slavia Prague, but he made 7 changes, I think, and won 1-0. So, it'll be interesting to see whether that trip. I mean, it's mainly about the travel, really, because Liverpool are obviously at home. But we'll see, whether that has any impact. I'm not quite sure.
I feel like Chelsea should be okay. I feel like the majority of the players that are playing today didn't play. And some, there you go.
That was nearly it.
Boy, obviously the rest of the title race is to come, and a question from Howard Anderson. He says, if Liverpool win today, are they favourites to win the league, considering that Man City still have Spurs and Manchester United to play?
I don't know about favourites. I keep saying that City's been here before. City's been and know what it takes to win a title. So even if Liverpool do win this game, and I hope they do, Liverpool just got to keep putting on the pressure and then just hoping every other aspect that comes into the Man City, like the Champions League, the final, that's what we need to come because Man City knows what it takes to win games when it gets pressured, and Liverpool don't. So if we win this game, I don't think we're favourite at all. I still think Man City are favourite. I just think that we're in a much better position because we've got rid of the two so-called harder games.
But you know, when you've been playing and vying for promotion as well, does that factor in as well, like being there and done it before? Oh,
100%. Like you'll turn to the players that have done it. You know, when say you're having a bad spell in a game, or you know you go 1-0 down, or you've lost the game. The people that done it, is that what you turn to?
Got to do better than that.
Midfield needs to settle down at Chelsea.
Yeah. So what?
Giving balls away very easy. May as well just.
So it's a good ball out from Naby Keita to Mane. Dinks up a nice cross, and Salah takes it on the volley, but doesn't really get it.
You'd be finishing that, though.
I would have headed it, you know.
He shins it. Not ideal.
Dan, the man in goal, Kepa, you were talking about the League Cup final.
Yep.
What did you make of that incident as a Chelsea fan?
Yeah, it was bemusing, man. I feel like he should have you've got to get off that pitch.
Yeah.
You have to get off the pitch.
Yeah.
Showed a lot of character.
Yeah.
Stay on, I'll give him that. But yeah, I feel like there was obviously something wrong communication-wise. I'm not sure if he was trying to run down the clock or what it was, but once your number goes up,
that's it, isn't it?
It's done. You got to get off this pitch.
Yeah, because we were doing it on the social, and because obviously we didn't have any commentary. We didn't know how bad it was until after. We're like, this is one of the most disrespectful things I've ever seen on a football pitch, you know. But
well, as a player, I couldn't even believe it. I don't care how tough you think you are. Or once your number comes up, you then have to deal with it.
Transfers Liverpool or.
I think Sarri, though, dealt with it really well.
Yeah.
He was fuming in that press conference, you could tell, but he didn't, like, publicly hammer him. He obviously said that was incredibly Caballero. But I thought Sarri actually dealt with it really well. And what could have been the start of the end for Sarri. He actually used it to sort of reassert authority. I thought he dealt with it really well.
Yeah, he did. To be honest, I thought it was a very good tactical change to make. Caballero's known for great penalties. So
supposedly it was meant to be. That was meant to have happened. They had discussed that he was coming on for a penalty shootout.
Really?
That was supposedly. I don't want to say where I got the info from, but you know what I mean.
that makes a lot of sense to me. It makes a lot of sense because Caballero wins penalty shootouts. That's what he does.
I think also he knows the Man City players, so he knows which ways
exactly.
Potentially would know which way they would go.
Oh, that's one ball. Trent, come on, bro.
Dave, there's an instant correction in already from a friend of the show and big-time YouTuber, Jack, mate. He said, I didn't realise Smithy was presenting. I said that before. I noticed Dave was presenting. I love Dave too.
Oh, legend.
So he's
clarification.
Welcome you into the hot seat there. There's a big, bold prediction from Majib. He says Henderson will slip today and Hazard will score the winner.
Oh, well, you know, get over that. Please, let's just put this to bed, Liverpool. Let's put this to bed.
I feel Liverpool started well, though.
Yeah, they have.
They got all the ball.
Dominated most of the ball. Made a couple of opportunities already.
To be honest, the way that Chelsea set up, they kind of set up to absorb a lot, haven't they? So this is kind of what we thought it was going to be. You both happy with the start, or would you actually Chelsea get hold of the ball?
I think both teams at the moment are missing out the midfield and just kind of clipping the ball and just hitting the areas and trying to get in the channels. Makes sense. I actually really like Liverpool's midfield, and I always have. I think they're really industrious and they don't do too much since Coutinho's gone, but what they do is just provide like the perfect kind of bedding for the front three to go and kind of express themselves. So I think, especially when they've got Wijnaldum in there, it's really economic, and it's like...
They really work for that team and that structure, don't they? Because they all press incredibly well.
It must breed a lot of confidence in the other players, knowing that you've got three absolute beasts in there who's just going to run.
Yeah. And real team players as well. You don't see too much ego. There's not too much. Yeah. They're just happy to, use the weapons they've got in front of them.
I think also what that kind of like the three-man midfield does is it allows Liverpool's two wing-backs to get forward. And they are massive. They're massive advantages for them, aren't they?
Definitely, because they know that they've got the security coming back from midfield. Robertson in particular, well, Robertson and Trent both, in the discussion.
They've been so good this season, haven't
they? They're both in the discussion for best fullbacks in the world in their
Foden now. Yes, good tackle.
Particularly Robertson. I can't think of that many left-backs in the world that are that clear above Robertson. Maybe Marcelo and Jordi Alba, maybe Alexandro, but Robertson's right in the discussion.
Yeah.
Yes, come off.
Looking
It's
good.
not good news,
I
Dan.
think it's okay, but in 2019, I think that's a foul, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so Hazard's been... Has he been... Well, so is...
He gets the ball, yeah, but I think nowadays...
For me, we got to be careful that... That's never a fact. We got to be careful that we're trying to stop tackling, period. Like, for me, tackling behind, if you get the ball, you get the ball.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm the same, but as in, I just care about consistency. Especially where I play, I just... It's like below semi-pro level. If you stop our tackling, we've got nothing.
It's the same in League One, cuz, trust me.
In your career, Bear, have you noticed a change in the way they officiate physicality?
Oh, yeah,
Has it got-
yeah. 100%.
Refs are blowing away more
Yeah,
often?
I mean, it was... football was a lot more aggressive, you know what I'm saying, 10, 12 years ago. I think with the game now, I think they want to see... I mean, you'll see the introduction of a lot more smaller players now, so the game... Which, you know what I'm saying, you do a tackle now that you did 10 years ago, it's an 8-game suspension, you know what it is, you know? So it is, football's changed.
Has that forced you to adapt your game as well?
Nah, man, I still run into people.
Still cause
I
damage.
still run into people.
You've got to be more clever, haven't you, when you do
just
it?
got to be a bit more smart.
Oh, is
about
there a
it.
bit of a chance for Chelsea here?
Come on, boys.
Kante just broke away from around 3. Oh, there's no one there.
Oh,
That is the problem with not having a striker, though. There was...
Yeah.
You've
He
basically...
he
You've
loves dropping
negated
so
him.
deep, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And
But then
doing that with
Hudson-Odoi really and truly wants to size up a full-back, get at him one-on-one, beat him and put a ball in.
So positive.
And if
whenever
there's
he
no
gets
one
the
to
ball.
aim at, you know, it does create a bit of a problem.
I think that's the thing, like, I'd hate to see that be trained out of him at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, it's such an exciting thing to see, like, a winger or just a forward-thinking player just try and beat a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then at the very least, he might get a free kick or something
Yeah.
like that. So he's obviously got a really, he's got an extremely bright future.
Yeah. He just looks like he belongs on this stage. I've never
Yeah.
seen him look intimidated by a game, by an opponent. He's just ready for more football, and you know it's disappointing for his sake that it's taken so long for him to get serious game time under Sarri.
You know what? I don't think it is. I
you?
think it's been timed pretty well, if I'm totally
Do you
honest.
reckon?
Hazard will most probably go at the end of the season. Pedro, Willian, probably coming to the end of their Chelsea careers.
But could
Chance?
you not have seen him picking up a bit more minutes like early on in the
Maybe,
year?
but he's 18. He's
True.
actually got, 15 years ahead of him. As in, you don't need to rush it, especially at Chelsea. Like this is the kind of team where you get it wrong, and your career just literally goes down there. So I think it's been timed pretty well.
Fair enough. That's an interesting perspective. Most Chelsea fans, I'd imagine, would have been calling him from earlier.
Chance for Liverpool?
that's grim, that.
That's good.
Emilio, come on, player.
Very good. Dave, big question in from a big friend of the show. He's always watching. It's Joshua Pilling. He says, if Liverpool were to finish second and don't win the Champions League, would it be classed as a failure this season?
Who's that to? To me?
I mean, let's open the panel up. I'll start with Bay, obviously, big Liverpool fan. Would that be considered a... I know we're talking in not hyperboles, but would that be considered a...
I don't know. I always say, I don't know about failure. I think progression is got to be key. I just think that the way the season has panned out, some people I can understand why people will say, we threw it away, but it's progression. You know what I'm saying? We're finishing second. If we get to however far in the Champions League, it's progression.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then we've been in this position. Come on, Salah, come on.
Never.
Oh, nice. Goal kick.
Have a word with him, Luis. Have a word with him. Get him up.
Oh, yeah. He absolutely loves it,
pen.
doesn't he, David Luiz?
I'm not going to lie, it's a straight pen.
Yeah?
I don't know, I ain't seen it.
What do you reckon, yeah?
So it's Mo Salah, sorry. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there. There's a little bit of contact there.
But
Did he leave it?
Do you think that's a bit of Salah obviously he's cried wolf a few times?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Him?
Yeah, 100%. To be fair, listen, we'll see it from this angle before I'll say anything.
Is there no, there's no contact there. It's a dive.
He's made a meal of that.
Dive. Oh, that's a little bit naughty from Mo Salah there.
It's a yellow card, that.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Who's that, Loftus?
Great.
My little
It's a
brother.
problem.
But going back to the Liverpool failure question, I don't see how you could see it as a failure. I mean, at the moment, they've got the most amount of points they've ever had at this stage of the season. They're obviously deep into the Champions League once again.
But they did get to final, obviously, last year.
They did get to the final last year.
If they're doing this year, then maybe that's a bit... I think from a Liverpool point of view, They're so unfortunate that City are so good.
Yeah.
Because I think any other season, they'll be like top by about 5 points.
Definitely.
But do you not think the lead that they had factors into that sort of failure question?
Yeah,
as well?
I think so. I mean, if they'd won that game in January against City, they would have gone 10 points clear.
Keep going, boys. Hit it.
I can see all the narrative around it already. If Liverpool don't win the league, they'll be termed as bottlers. But this is an exceptional City side.
Yeah.
Like one of the best the Premier League's ever seen. I don't see how you could call, either of them, whoever doesn't win the title, a bottler.
Good.
So just, two great teams and only one
Lovely
free
free
kick.
kick.
He's giving it.
It's quite a heated start to the game.
It is. It's a very fast game.
Do we think Anfield's a help or a hindrance in these
That's a
sort
really
of
good
times?
question, I think. Because it's
Help.
You think it's a help, yeah?
Help. I think it's help.
Yeah.
I think it's help. You say that, Liverpool unbeaten at Anfield, so it can't be a hindrance.
I think the thing is, though, like the first 20 minutes, if Liverpool can get an early goal, then it's a fantastic place to be. But if they don't, then obviously the fans start to get a bit edgy, start to get a bit,
yeah.
But to be fair, this year, to answer my own question, they've probably been countering that, haven't they? We've sat here for that Everton game last minute, the Tottenham game as well last minute, so maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you can only go by the stats and what they've done. So I feel that if they've been unbeaten all season or whatever it is, it can only be a hindrance at the moment. And of course, now it's the pressure time.
Yeah.
But we just want to hope that the fans stick with them. But I do think I don't really worry when we play at home, if I'm honest.
I think as well, like obviously opposing teams don't want to go to Anfield, do they? You know
100%. 100%.
Well,
It is a really imposing atmosphere.
Come on.
And what's been so interesting this year is the amount of points that Liverpool have won from losing positions. I think they've won something like 19, which is the record best in the league.
Stop being
which is just absolutely mental when you think about it. If they win the title, it's been built on a rock-solid defence. They've only conceded 20 goals so far. And their just ability to kill off the teams not in the top six. I think only Leicester, Everton and Wolves have taken points off Liverpool outside of the top six. And they've just been dominating, getting the job done, dominating teams with this rock-solid defence. And a lethal front line as well.
Yeah. I think a lot of Liverpool's success has been, brilliant. There you go, William. There's no one up there. As in, it's come from their fullbacks. I think they've just been so good. I think they've probably got the most assists out of anyone in this league, especially from fullback-wise. And the way that Robertson just gets forward, he really pelts it. And I feel like he makes a massive difference.
Yeah, definitely.
You take those out of the team.
Free kick.
Free kick?
Yeah,
Offside?
Yeah, keep kicking him.
Yeah, I think
I'm sorry, just
you
for
take them
today.
out.
Yeah.
And you got a big problem, or you've lessened your problem at least.
Yeah,
definitely.
So that is the big one. So whether usually you don't mind. Oh, he's on. You don't mind fullbacks having the ball more time, but you do when it's
especially. And Trent's got a great delivery in as well. Takes an awesome free kick as well. He's just so well-rounded for someone so young, Trent Alexander-Arnold. He just looks like he's been on this stage for years.
Yeah.
He's just awesome.
Tell you what, today's exciting for an England fan as well, isn't it? You've got Hudson-Odoi, Loftus-Cheek, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Big time.
We're going to have to get something, referee.
Sancho scoring a double yesterday as well.
Yes.
Come on.
Chance for Liverpool.
Well done, Rudiger.
Oh, really good turn.
Oh, easy.
Who's that, Keita? Yeah. But it's been a bright start for both teams. You see, Chelsea obviously look good on the counter as well. Liverpool.
See, I'm not going to lie, I'm not nervous at the moment on their counter. It looks like one will get up there and then they have to wait for the other two.
Okay.
So, and it looks like there's still space in behind, and that's the one thing I worry when teams play against Liverpool, is they take the space away. But Mo Salah's got into positions at the moment where he can come back in on his left foot.
Yes, it's almost like Chelsea needs to get Loftus-Cheek on the ball with Hazard up front rather than Hazard.
Where is his man?
Just there's space. Come on.
Chance for Keita to put the ball. Wasted from Liverpool there.
Bayo, where would you rank this Liverpool side in terms of, in your lifetime, where do they sit?
I'll have to answer that at the end of the season.
Fair.
I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy them. I enjoy what they're about. The Klopp's got an ethos, and it don't really seem many teams will boss us. You know what I'm saying? And that's the good thing. And the one thing I was not worried, and I've seen the elevation or the way they've evolved, was I thought last season we kind of just press. Whereas this season it seems like we've got a measure. Oh snap! He's in.
Oh,
it's a problem.
That was
On his weaker left.
big
Probably
like
should have
chance
gone with his
for
right.
Chelsea there.
He's just got to play up against Matip.
Yeah, that's it. If he
He's
picks
got to
what he
play-
picks it. Van Dijk would be pretty smart and get really close to Matip, I think.
Dan, what do you make of the impending transfer ban as well, and what's that going to do for the following
Doom
season?
and gloom.
You know, I can't really comment too much on it. If you
Yeah.
want to tap up, 14-year-olds and all of that. I mean, I feel like every team does it at some point, and I feel like there's been loads of these bans.
Maybe
thrown
not on
around
your
in Europe.
scale, though.
I mean, I think it was 14 in 42 cases or something like that. So we've appealed it. We feel like we've got a case. Either that or we're trying to,
Take it to the
trying to
courts.
buy time. But it doesn't help, put it that way, especially seeing as Chelsea are in a bit of a transition period and we probably need...
Especially because Sarri
This
came
one.
in quite late last year
Yeah.
and didn't get necessarily
Yeah.
enough of the signings that he needed to play this style of play.
Which makes it does make a bit of sense as to why Chelsea made sure they got Pulisic in the last transfer
Yeah.
window and gave him straight back. But yeah, it's not great.
Quite
obviously.
big pressure on Pulisic's shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone in the world can actually fill Hazard's boots, unless your name's Messi or Ronaldo. But in terms of just how much he affects a game, the entire game you have to worry about Messi and Hazard. With Ronaldo, at least, he might not do anything for 87 minutes and then
It's
just get a
moments with
winner.
Ronaldo,
Yeah,
isn't
just
it?
get a winner.
Always turns up in the big moments.
Do you put Hazard in that category? Ronaldo, Messi?
I think he's the best of the next batch. So the
Okay.
Mbappes, the Neymars. I
Neymars.
think he's the best of the next.
It's a big shine.
Yeah.
Big shot.
So we've got a bit of stoppage in play at the moment. Rudiger's down. What was it? A bit of a coming like together with a Liverpool player, and
He looked like he banged his own knee, if I'm honest, so it must have been the way he fell.
there's obviously Hudson doing get some direction from Sarri there.
He hasn't got the fags out yet.
Oh, but he's back up.
That must be rank, mustn't it? Just chewing the end of a cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what he
loves
does? Is
it.
he chewing cigarettes?
I think so, yeah.
It can't be. The actual
Something to get tobacco. Doogie, back me up.
Yeah, oh yeah. From what I
Thank you,
hear, you know.
Just need some of that old-fashioned, like, spitting.
Yeah, he needs a bucket.
Yeah, needs a bucket. Bring it back.
Western style. There we go, Christensen warming up.
I hope Rudiger can.
Christensen will be
one off.
disappointed with the amount of game time he's got this year.
Didn't he play in the game in the slip?
In the...
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did.
They had
I
a
think he did,
well-random
I saw it,
side out
I saw
that
it,
day.
yeah.
Really? Fair enough, I didn't know that. But yeah, he was so good under Conte last year and looked like he was, really developing into a great player, but hasn't had any minutes at all.
I think the system just doesn't. I would have thought the system doesn't favour Luiz, but he's getting the nod.
And
every
Sarri
year,
seems
every
to,
week.
except for a few changes in the forward areas, generally stick to the same 11.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been big calls for Emerson to come in earlier, for Marcus Alonso, Christensen. I mean, it's been Rudiger, Luiz. You could pretty much name Chelsea's 11 with
Yeah.
your eyes shut. And you can almost name whichever substitutions will be as well. It's
Yeah.
always Barkley on for Kovacic. And
Yeah.
There's just seemingly no imagination. It's all sort of stuck in this rigid 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Jacks it, man.
I mean, I'd have thought that Luiz can't play in a pair, if anyone can't play in a pair.
Yeah.
And he has shown a bit of Luiz, let's say, in terms of like his erraticness and his
Louise.
yeah, his thing where he kind of switches off and before you know it, you're 4-0 down.
Yeah.
But he's a big character in the dressing room. You can guarantee he's one of the big ones. So it's so hard to leave someone out when their character
Definitely,
is such a big.
It's a bit strange because obviously he's out of contract in the summer. You'd think if he's playing him now over Christensen, then they even if he's given a new contract, or start bringing in Christensen now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to bring anyone else in, are they?
It's a good point, actually. I hadn't thought of that. I'm kind of baffled why they haven't given him a new contract, at least for another year. I mean, Chelsea seems to have a policy where they only give over 30-year-olds 1 year at a time, and maybe he's got an objection to that and thinks he can get a payday somewhere else.
I think that's a bit strange.
The 1 year policy.
I think it should be at least 2. It's not like many years ago where your prime was probably a lot younger. I feel like your prime's probably, was it 28, 29?
Especially for a
You know, even
centre-back as
30.
well, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't rate that, Us over 30s must stick together. Yeah.
Slightly slowed down the pace of the game, hasn't
slow
it?
down now.
Called our breath. So, Bayer, we got to talk about your double yesterday.
Oh,
Talk us through it. You must be on cloud 9.
yeah, you know what? I'm not going to lie. Hold on, let me just see this ball go out before it just kills my weekend.
There's a chance for Chelsea.
There you go, right now.
Probably the most people they've had up in the Liverpool half, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Easy ball for Alisson.
Yeah, guy. To be fair, I mean, it's always nice to score goals as a striker. I mean, I won't. But it was just relief to get the 3 points. We've gone so long. I think our last win was like January, and we played Charlton on Tuesday. And I'm not even gonna like. I'm not gonna lie. I felt we battered them for 80 minutes. You know, we played Portsmouth, and you know when you're playing games, and this is why I was alluding to what you were saying about. We went into the Southend game off the back of 2 good performances, but lost. So I knew that it was going to change. You know what I'm saying? So it was just relief to get the 3 points. And like I was saying, the league is so tight. Southend was a point behind us, so you know it was all built up. And then it's always nice to score goals because they were just giving me so much abuse.
Really, the Southend guys.
Yeah, and I just got yellow carded. Bang it!
Oh.
When you're actually getting abused, does that fire you up? Or
I just laugh. I really lost. I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of them brothers where, you know, they will. The chant now is your tits are offside. You know what I'm saying? That's the chant that's just stuck with me. Like Portsmouth were the ones that started that. So for me, thanks Portsmouth for that. But no, for me it don't. I swear down. I'm not gonna lie. On the pitch when it goes like that, it's amusement to me.
Yeah.
And then it's always nice when you score 2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I haven't seen your celebrations. Did you pull out a little...
Nah, to be fair, it was raw. The first one was with pure emotion of relief. Like, I posted a picture and I looked like my veins were popping out my head. And then the second one, it was just like, yeah, we've won the game. Sort of thing. So it was done and dusted. Nice. Plus, I was mad tired as well. So but yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice to now to have this weekend on the back of 3 points. You know, we haven't felt that in a while.
How does the body feel today on the back of a game like that? How long does it take for you to feel like close to back to 100%?
What's 100%? No, I'm joking. I feel like cardboard today. I'm stiff. Like I had to come off because of my knees. My knee's a bit sore. So probably Tuesday I will start. Like Monday, 48 hours is when it is. So Monday, today not too bad. Tomorrow I'll feel worse, and then Tuesday it'll start to settle. And then Thursday, back to normal for the game Friday and that.
What does a recovery day look like for you? In terms of, like, any ice baths? What sort of food are we talking?
I'm allergic to ice baths. I don't do that. But it's just massage, and then I go to the cryo, spend 5 minutes in there.
That looks painful.
I've done that.
It's cold. And, you know, again, I'm allergic to cold. I'm a tropical brother. But it's needed now when you're my age. But yeah, so that's a recovery day. And then we go again Tuesday. We'll take that.
Is it? No. I think we're going to have a price boost coming up.
Ooh.
Where are you taking me, Dave? What are you saying?
Mo Salah, he was 7-2. He's now 9-2 again. So Mo Salah to score first. Was 7-2, now 9-2. Will, what are you saying to that?
Well, I mean, there is that sort of stereotype sticking around with him about him not scoring in the big games. I mean, you'll probably have more of the stats on that for me, but I mean, it's not synonymous with scoring in the big games at the moment, is it?
No, he's definitely not. Also, he hasn't been.
It's a great price boost.
It is a great price boost.
You should definitely 100% get on it because he's going to break the duck tonight.
And of course, you have to be over 18. Full terms and conditions do apply, and head to skybet.com for latest odds. So I have to get that in there.
No, definitely.
Do it.
But yeah,
I was really helping the boost there with my.
That was lovely. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, he looked like he's finding a bit of form in the Southampton game, and then he had a slightly quiet game against Porto. But looking back to his best in the Southampton game, but it's really been Mane in the last couple of months.
He's been excellent, hasn't he? Mane?
Awesome. I think it's something like 7 Premier League goals in his last 9 or something.
Is that because almost like the focus is like they're doubling up on Salah and that gives him?
I think so, probably. I mean, a lot of teams learned from the mistakes of last year, giving Salah too much time. And yeah, Mane's just had an unbelievable year in that respect and coming into his own and being linked with big moves now as well. I mean, always talk about him going to Real Madrid. I think that's if they can't get Hazard.
Right.
Personally, I don't think he's quite that bracket, but I mean, he's had another exceptional year.
Yeah.
And was crucial in the back end of last year as well.
Do you think some of the criticism has been unfair? Because he's still doing big numbers, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I think he's
getting criticised, yeah?
Yeah. Like, you know, particularly because what was that?
Who's criticising, man? Let me find out who they are.
I don't think that many people are criticising. I think they just maybe don't think he's Real Madrid quality.
Okay.
I would argue that he's just below the Hazards, the Sanes, the Sterlings, the Salahs of this league, and there are some exceptional wing talent in the Premier League.
Well, if it was me, I'd prefer Mo Salah on my team over Benzema. If I'm being perfectly honest. But again, in order to get him out of Liverpool, he's going to cost a lot of money, isn't it?
That's the thing. They've got their front three tied
but
to
you
big
need,
long-term
I think
contracts.
you need a Benzema. I don't think it works having 3 wingers up top.
Yeah.
So you need. This is why I think.
There you go. Go for a walk. Go for a walk.
Oh, someone's
Chelsea,
flicked as
sorry.
well there.
He's
William,
free.
can he find Hazard?
Bang.
Oh, he's got closing down.
Oh, that is awful in the end.
Come on.
He had he's so much.
stood
Hazard
them
was
still when
completely
passing.
free as well.
You've got to get that on target.
Give that ball earlier.
What's happened there?
Probably should have just gone straight. Just go.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Matip was running towards the ball, not away from it.
And he got away from Van Dijk pretty easily, and then everyone just Liverpool defence just stopped.
Dear.
Do you think he should try? Do you think he should have tried to find Hazard then? Or
I think he was right to take the shot.
to go for goal. Yeah.
Dave, I've got to get
need
a
a
quick
better
question
shot.
in. Oh, hang on.
Oh,
Watch
like
that back
that.
post, get rid. Well done,
Where are
Aspi.
we?
Well
There's
read from us,
there's a guy who's literally begging for answers. He's called Nakeith, and he says, what are the top 4 predictions? I'm especially begging you, Bayo, for your top 4 prediction of the league. So we'll start with you.
Who I think the top 4's
Yeah,
gonna be.
what we going?
Liverpool,
Yeah.
City,
It's hard,
Tottenham.
isn't it? Oh, Tottenham.
Oh.
I think Spurs are
You
going
can
to
say that because Smithy's not here as well. So
Yeah, true.
that
And I think it's actually hard. Actually, for some reason, I think Arsenal gets it.
Arsenal.
I think
I
Arsenal.
think Arsenal are going to do it.
Got to be Chelsea.
Fair.
But that's you know what? And Chelsea, you know what? It's hard. But
Yeah,
I'm going
it
to go with that
Yeah.
just because it was the first thing that came to my head.
Perfect.
And after 1 and 2, after 1, I really care.
Don't really matter, does it?
Yeah, you know.
Dan, what are you going to go for?
I think it'll be City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea.
Tottenham.
I think the new stadium will give them just that little,
boost.
because I felt like they were going to get dragged into a massive dogfight,
Yeah.
and they are still in one actually.
What
But,
do we make of obviously Harry Kane not there till the end of the season?
Well, I don't know what happens when
Is
Kane's
he out to the end
back.
of the season?
Yeah,
Apparently, yeah.
yeah, apparently, yeah.
but I feel like they
that
perform
changes.
really well without him.
Without
Yeah.
him, yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's because Son really makes some like incredible runs. He's just such a top player.
Yeah.
I
But
feel,
yeah.
I feel that like Eriksen plays better when the Kane's not there because it's almost like he has to.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
he has
Kane's
to
been dropping
step
deeper
up,
as well, hasn't he?
yeah.
It's almost been taking his limelight.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think longer term. I mean, what is there? 6 games left for them, or five in the league,
5,
and
yeah.
whatever goes on in the Champions League. I mean, that is you don't want. You love Kane to be there. I mean, that thing about Son performing better, I think that's just in one-off games. To be honest, I can't see long term that Spurs are going to be a better side without someone of the quality of Harry Kane in there.
Oh.
But I thought they were pretty impressive in their draw against City this week.
They win, didn't they? Yeah, they won.
Oh, sorry, their win. Sorry, the 1-0 win. But also, the narrative around that would be completely different. If Aguero scores that penalty, then it's just entirely different.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much chat about Pep losing it. He's not good enough in the Champions League knockout stages. And to be fair, his record in the Champions League knockout stages is actually quite poor. I think he's won 6 of 26.
His last one was like 2011, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. When Phil Foden was in junior school. So there definitely is something there, but I still back City to turn that around at the Etihad.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But,
Doogie, you mentioned VAR there.
Transfer Chelsea here. Hazard's on the balls, running at him. William, you pick someone out. There's no way.
Edge, is there edge?
Come
Bang.
on.
Who's
Bang.
that?
Loftus cheek. Get shot away.
Too
So you
much.
got the most
He's trying
crowded
to do
areas,
too
Yeah,
much.
yeah, you haven't got that much time in there.
Will, what were you going to say, sorry?
There we go, Virgil with a big clearance. How do we think VAR should be implemented next season? If the possession leading up to the goal is really, really long, how far back can you look in order to disallow a goal? And that's from Howard Anderson.
I just think however it's used in the World Cup is how it should be used.
Perfect in the World Cup, wasn't it? It was like dramatic.
Whoever that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure on that. I've been slightly concerned with the new handball rule that they brought in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I think it's slightly ridiculous. Obviously, it clears it up if, you know, if it seems like if it does hit your arm, no matter what the circumstances, they're pretty much giving it. If your arm's outside the natural silhouette of your body, I think is what it is. But your arms are by default outside the natural silhouette of your body. So, well, how can it not be a handball ever? Which I think is a slightly dangerous precedent because otherwise players are just going to come up to them into the box and chip it into people's arms.
So obviously, as like a professional, how do you feel about that rule in the Champions League? Where if it hits the arm, that's basically it, right? You know, because obviously the rule when I was young, it used to be like if your arms are in an unnatural position. Then and it hits you, then obviously it's a penalty. But that doesn't be the case, does it? In the Champions League?
Deliberate handball used to be the same, didn't it? That seems like a distant memory now.
Yeah. For me, you can never get it 100% right. And if you're going to go like, oh, listen, no matter what happens, if the ball, you're setting yourself up for just more headache.
Yeah.
You know, there's times when the ball, literally, there ain't nothing you can do, and the ball's going to hit your hand, and that's what it is. It's ball to hand. You know what I'm saying? So you're just going to see a lot more nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with Tuesday, wasn't it? It was like everyone was agreed it wasn't a penalty, apart from the referee.
Yeah. And that's the thing with VAR. Even when you slow it down by like hundredths of a second, sometimes, I saw it even in the World Cup, if I remember rightly, where they gave a penalty, and for me, it just wasn't a penalty.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I could say is at least they're being consistent. When Kimpembe did that handball against Man United, and then City also had 2 given against them against Schalke, they are doing the same rule every time, which is what you want to see. You want to see consistency. I just think the rule is wrong, and it's going to cause a lot of issues next year, because it's already causing, you know, it's already frustrating people no end at the moment. Pochettino was furious after the game, as was Danny Rose, and no City players have appealed for it either, which I always think is quite telling.
But we're in the new age now where it's like they're just trying to bring in any rule that... I suppose entertainment factor it does quite well for it. So in my league now that I play in, it's like...
You got VAR, yeah?
No. I wish. We've got like 5 pitches or something. But what they've brought in is a sin bin for dissent.
Really?
So, yeah, so...
We've been talking about that for quite a while.
And usually my league
Have you been in the bin yet?
No, yes, I have actually. I went in
we won't repeat what you said, obviously.
But it's my league's used as a little bit of like a testing pot
right.
for what then happens in the higher leagues. And I just felt like entertainment factor, it actually might really have a big effect. So imagine, you know, Chelsea go 1-0 up here, and then in the 80th minute, you know, Luiz goes in the sin bin for 10 minutes. So you just see the countdown.
Yeah.
So it would be
Chelsea
quite
has us on the...
entertaining. 1-4.
It's got too much to do, which is...
They are being used, aren't they, sim bins, lower down the...
Yes,
the
Are they? Are they already? Yeah.
No, lower down like, in the non-leagues next season.
Yeah.
What position are you, Will?
Me?
Yeah.
What do you think I am?
Rangy centre-half.
Yeah.
Leo Bayo as if he's going to get you a gig at Wickham.
I'll be going on you, but on Diags. I'll be all day, every day.
Mopping you up there. I don't know what you're on about there. No, I'm a terrible player, and if anyone wants me for the team, don't bother.
Here we go. This is where I want you. This is where I want you.
It's okay. Just keep him on his right foot.
Yes!
Oh! Mane.
Just wide. That's great play from Salah.
Where are you pointing to, bro?
You said it was a deflection. He's got to get that on target.
What did I hit? Did I hit the pole behind the goal?
Nice from Fabinho.
Fast.
Basel.
Needed that for the old...
Oh, no.
No, he's done everything right here. He's picked him up.
Yeah. Very
God,
It's
to be
like a
hitting the
difficult
target.
chance, isn't
I don't
it?
even
But-
think that's poorly defended, really. I suppose as Luiz, you kind of got to make him do that.
Yeah.
What do Liverpool need to do to score here? Because they're not playing badly, are they? But it's almost like I feel like they need to get the wing backs in more. Because
We've got to move it quicker.
Yeah.
I think we've got. For me, their whole game is hit on a counter attack.
Yeah.
So they want to try and get it to Hazard and the quick boys and that. We just got to move it. We've got to move it quicker. Move it quicker.
What have you made of Fabinho recently, Bayo? He seems like he's sort of found his feet in that Liverpool midfield now.
Yeah, there was one point where I thought he was you couldn't drop him. Okay, my man's coming off.
Yeah.
Rudiger.
It's like the second time now, isn't it? He's gone down.
Oh, that's a nasty one. That's the knees, that, Bayo.
I know about them ones. I know about them ones.
So who will come on for Chelsea now then? Would it be
Christensen, I think, yeah.
That's what you wanted, Dougie?
Huh?
That's what you wanted?
I wanted him to get more game time, but probably not 38 minutes in at Anfield. I feel sorry for the guy. He hasn't played for months, or at least not consistently, and he's coming in like a massive game like this. Yeah, Firmino, Mane and Salah will be licking their lips at the prospect of this.
As we're almost
Especially
getting to
cold, isn't it?
half-time,
Yeah. Sorry, Will, go on.
just revisiting the score predictions. I mean, mine's out the window, but are we still confident of ours?
Yeah, well, that's
2-1.
2-1, yeah.
I still think
I mean,
2-1.
Mane should be back in there, shouldn't he, Bayo?
Yeah, he should. He should at least hit the target.
This is looking like a 1-0 to me now.
I actually was thinking that more and more. I was thinking, I mean, of course, first goal in every game is most important, but...
There we go. The predictions are on. They should be better. What's he got to do technique-wise there, better? Let it come across his body a bit more?
If it was a cross, I'd be able to. I haven't scored many shots. Headering, that's my forte, you get me? But no, you got to hit the target there. You'd be disappointed in himself that he didn't hit the target.
Yeah.
Like, you got to make the keeper work.
Who for you, Bear, is best striker in the league?
Yeah, great question.
Aguero.
Yeah, I think Aguero too.
Aguero. I think Aguero is... I just think he's... But then again, I think Aguero's the best striker. Yeah, he is. I think he'll always get you 20-plus goals. I just think that, you know. But then I think Kane's all-round game is something as well. I think he's a bit of old school, a bit of new school. So I do enjoy Harry Kane. But I do think Aguero's probably the best striker.
Yeah, he's done great as well, because when Gabby Jesus came in, first 6 months absolutely smashed it. There was lots of talk about that Aguero didn't really fit Pep's system and wasn't really a Pep player. But you saw, I think Pep said this week that he was one of the best players he's ever, or one of the happiest players he's ever worked with, which must mean they have a great relationship. So that was purely paper talk beforehand. And the way he's adapted his game, his consistency. He'll once again not win PFA Player of the Year, but he's always in the discussion. Yeah. And he's only been in the team of the season once, which is an outrage.
He's pretty underrated, isn't he?
Yeah, he's only been in the team of the year once.
That's insane.
Which is mental.
So who does everyone think will be the PFA Player of the Year? Surely Sterling, huh?
I said that on Sunday Vibes this week. I think it'll be Van Dijk.
Van Dijk, yeah.
Yeah, I just think the difference that he's made... I mean, I'd be happy with either of them, to be fair, and I think Hazard's in with a good shout as well. But the difference that Van Dijk's made, that whole back line, is just sort of immeasurable. 27 years old, absolutely world-class, you know, best defender in the world this year on current form, I think.
When the players have voted, have they
voted recently. Now? Sterling actually said... Van Dijk said he voted for Sterling.
OK.
Sterling said he voted for Kane.
But why do they vote so early? Do you know what I mean? Like, Sterling can score 3 hat-tricks in 3 games, win City the league. Yeah. And then he's obviously the winner then. We wouldn't be having this debate.
Dan, who do you reckon?
I think it will change depending on whether City or Liverpool win the league.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think it'll either be Van Dijk or Sterling. I think it will be Sterling.
He scored 2 again today, didn't he?
Yeah, he's just... Yeah,
what he's dealt with off the pitch as well.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think
icon.
He's just grown and just kept growing. And if he wasn't British, I would say he would probably be looked at worldwide by more different teams, and people will be saying, you know, he's incredible. But there's just still, because he's Sterling, there's not this...
Come on, you're on him. He's not...
This, like, beautiful grace to what he does. Very effective, but it's not as flamboyant.
You make a good point, actually. It's not like watching a Hazard in full flow, is it? Just the positions he picks up now, those back post runs, just another exceptional year.
Yeah.
He's been awesome, and what he's dealt with off the pitch, becoming sort of an icon of anti-racism. Someone needs to step up and sort of take action on that front, and he's just been awesome. So yeah, full credit. I'd be happy with either of them, to be honest.
Oh, come on, boys.
Now we hit him. Now we hit him.
Yeah, this is it.
Now we hit him.
Well done, Kante. Take him.
I've been interested to see the shot statistics, actually. It seems like both sides have had a fair few efforts, with only that Mane chance being the only sort of clear-cut one.
Surely you must be happy with Chelsea's performance so far, though, haven't you?
Yeah, do you know what? This is actually why Chelsea generally turn up in these kind of games, especially away at Anfield. Chelsea never, come and it's just like a lull. So I expect this kind of a performance, and especially, this is the same team that won the league, pretty much. So it's still amazing players, and you've got Hazard, you've got Loftus-Cheek, you've got so much talent in this team. Then you've got the industry of Kante, you've got Luiz, you've got so much talent here that I don't expect Chelsea to come and not be at the races.
What have you made of Higuain's stint at Chelsea, Dan?
I think he's still a little heavy. I don't know. I think the Premier League is just very... As in, the Premier League's just... It's a league that is...
Book him.
It's different. Barry knows his body really well. He understands exactly what he's doing when the ball's fed to feet. With Higuain, I feel like because he's played in Serie A for so long, and the pace obviously isn't that of the Premier League, once you get here and you've got half a second less on that ball immediately, and I feel like, he scored a couple of good goals, but it's hard to adjust without like some real explosiveness.
Yeah, definitely.
So with the actual transfer ban, are they about to sign him or not? He's on loan, isn't he?
He's on loan, so he'll have to go back. Unless they appeal
in.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a weird one.
Can we sign? Can we?
It's interesting, yeah.
What about contracts with our own players?
Yeah, you can obviously sell people. You just can't bring anyone in. So you'll have to sell a lot of players because I think you've got over 30 players on loan.
Yeah.
So it will just be absolute carnage at Chelsea this summer.
Yeah.
On the outgoings anyway.
Yeah.
It's got. Oh, what a
Oh,
shame that is.
What a
Oh my goodness!
I was offside.
Following that up.
It was offside.
It's offside.
Someone
Oh.
needs to be following that in.
It was offside.
Oh, he's offside.
That was a great save, though. It was a beautiful.
This is what we were talking about earlier.
It was
Trent's
a Trent.
ball.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I personally think that's too high.
Right.
I think that's too high of a line to have right there. Anyway.
Is that Firmino? Oh, it just comes off the top of his shin by the looks of it. Oh, disappointing. That was nearly it. We needed that.
Just before half time.
Just before half time, it would have been perfect.
You take this though, Danny. Fantastic start.
Yeah.
And it's not like you've been soaking up loads of pressure.
I don't think. I think 0-0 at the moment's pretty fair. I suppose there's not been a real chance other than Mane's, but there's been loads of things where if you play the final pass correct, you're in.
I wouldn't say you've soaked up pressure, but I believe you've come in to hit on a counter-attack. So you've put 11 men behind the ball and then tried to break. So it's hard to break any team down at sit 11. And I'm not saying that it's been a wave of attack because it hasn't been. But at the moment, Bard and Chelsea don't look like they're going to score. But then it is Hazard.
Yeah.
So he can score at any given time.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying. But there's not one time where it's once probably where he's been one-on-one where you're nervous.
Yeah.
He's been hitting against four.
Yeah. I suppose that's the thing about the break, though. Generally, it doesn't look dangerous until you're finished. So Chelsea will probably just sit and just relax for a little bit. They should do anyway with 1 minute left. But and then hopefully just get them on a break. And at least there's been a couple of times where it's like 2-on-3 where
True, yeah.
but it's not happening just yet.
Chance of
It's what we've got to do. We've got to move it quicker. Too many touches.
Frustrating.
It's just not quite working, is it? Like they're playing. To be honest, I say both teams are playing well.
Yeah.
It's just
Cancelling each
yeah,
other out.
cancel each other. Yeah.
That final pass. He's had a great week, Naby Keita, actually. Because there was, I mean, after coming in with such a big reputation from RB Leipzig, big fee as well. I mean, I probably had him as one of my disappointments of the year up until last week. But got that goal against Southampton. Looks like he's done a lot of good for his confidence. Another goal against Porto, though, a big deflection. But just he's such a unique talent, Keita. He can literally do everything in the midfield.
Give it to him, man. What are you wasting
such a
time
good
for?
dribbler, great defensive action as well. He'll be a big. He'll be in for a big year next year. I think he'll be awesome next year.
Do you think it's the timing as well? So I remember watching Fabinho's first game against, I think it was Chelsea in the League Cup, and he looked absolutely dreadful. But then 2 months later, he looked like a world beater.
Yeah, I think Keita also. I remember he started the season quite well, first 5 games, then got a back injury, and I think I don't know. Bayo will know better than me, but back injuries I imagine are pretty difficult to come back from as well, a painful one as well. But so he's had his injuries as well. But it's good to see him, finding form just the right time. And Henderson also looked really good when he came on against Southampton as well.
It's found like a new role, hasn't he? That sort of like
that's
attacking.
all-action midfielder. I think that's where he's best. When he's forced to play as a DM and spray passes, he can do it. But I think his skill set's more suited to just, creating carnage, getting up and down.
Is that what he used to do for you back in the day as well? He was more attacking back then, wasn't he?
Half time.
Right, so it's half time.
Bit of anti-climax now. I thought it'd be a bit better than this from Liverpool.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna have a quick price boost.
Yes.
We all love a price boost, don't we?
I won't bring this one. I'll support this one.
All right, it's all this one. So Liverpool to win 2-0 was 6-1. It's now 7-1. Obviously, odds were accurate at time of recording, and you have to be 18 and plus to obviously place the bet.
Yeah.
And head to skybet.com for the latest odds.
I mean,
it's short bet again, like 7-1. That was my bet, so I think I might.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Because once one comes, then the second Chelsea go up, and then the second's coming. Sorry, Dan. I'm just thinking from trying to win some money perspective
We'll
here.
be fine.
Yeah, if Mane tucks away that chance, it'll be a completely different complexion of the first half. But I don't think either side will be too worried, too disappointed with how it's gone so far. I think more of the same. I think Klopp will just say more of the same. They've just been slightly not clinical in their final ball. I mean, Salah also had that chance as well. Forgot about that. Mane missed a big chance, so just keep it going. Just stay in the game.
And obviously for the stream, we need a goal.
And we do need a goal.
0-0's not good for anyone.
No.
So.
We haven't had like an absolute barnstormer for a while.
Do
you know, I want a barnstorm.
Yeah, it's coming. Next 45.
Definitely needs it.
I have, yes. OK, so we're going to do a little feature. Bayo, are you ready? We've got the most searched questions about yourself. So,
yeah?
So basically the internet want the answers, and we're going to try and give them to them.
All right, speak on it.
So the most searched... Yeah, so these are all from Google. The first is, what does Akinfenwa bench?
Oh.
Weights, I'd imagine, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's normally a good start.
190 kg is my 1 rep max.
190?
My 190.
That is mental.
Wow.
And I just average out at 100, 120 kind of daily. But 190 kg is my 1 rep max bench press.
That's like 2.5 of me. It's mental.
That's OK. Well, 190.
Just googling what weighs 190 kilograms, so I'll just come back to you on that.
Ah,
It's a small cow.
The next one I've got is, why does Akinfenwa support Liverpool? Why do you support Liverpool?
To be fair, I got asked that recently as well. John Barnes, the simple answer to it is John Barnes. I remember when I was a youngster, I remember John Barnes. I see John Barnes, and he played at Liverpool, and John Barnes was my idol, and he was what I wanted to try and play. Ended up playing nothing like him. My style was completely different from John Barnes, but John Barnes, and then I was a Liverpool supporter, and then I've ever since stayed a Liverpool supporter, so John Barnes.
Dave, I've run the numbers. Bayo's actually lifting more than a New Zealand sea lion.
Wow.
Maybe stick that in your Twitter bio.
Not just any sea lion.
No,
it's got to be from New Zealand.
It's a New Zealand or a Wadi dolphin.
Yeah, you know, when the season's done, you know what I'm saying, pre-season, I'm just be lifting, you get me?
Try and get some of those sorted for the next social.
Next one is, where did Akinfenwa grow up? Where did you grow up? Was it, which part of?
Dawston. So I grew up in Dawston. I was born in Islington, but I grew up in Dawston, which is Hackney. I went to Highbury Grove School. So, yeah, but now I'm South London.
South.
I'm South now, but, yeah, I grew up in Dawston.
Decent. And the next one is, this is a great one. Could Akinfenwa join the WWE?
You know the worst thing is, we have had conversations.
Yeah?
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you, we've had conversations.
Grant Holt style.
That'd be my dream. That
sit down and talk to them. I'm into WWE because my kids are into WWE, and I got the chance to meet The Rock.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a little conversation and that. So watch this space. Who knows?
All right. So if it's you versus The Rock, do you reckon you could take him?
What? Of course. Yeah.
Bigger than him anyway, isn't it?
To be very taller than me.
Have you worked out your wrestler name, or is it just going to be Beast
it just have to be like Beast, and then like I'll have something like the Beast Slam or something like that.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, Slam! Something like that sort of thing. So watch this space. Who knows?
So do you think, honestly, like, when you do actually come to retire, do you think it could actually be like an avenue?
Yeah, listen, I mean, the way I am is I don't put a lid on anything, and I always say, watch this space.
Yeah.
You know, what will be, will be. But yeah, like we've got a lot of things. I'm still playing. I'm going to play on again next year, so I'm still a footballer. But we have got a lot of things in the pipeline for when I do hang up my boots.
Yeah, I'm excited already.
Yeah. What I can say, watch this space.
Watch this space.
It's exciting.
What, just on that, what are you thinking ring gear wise? We're thinking like tight trunks, full leggings.
Nah. You know, I'm going to be the buddy who wears a vest and that. I don't like that spandex thing. Don't really. It don't really. I'm not really about the spandex life sort of thing. So maybe I'll have like football shorts or something that come down really long or something. Yeah, you know what it is. Come on now.
Maybe a little mask.
Something like that.
This is I've never. Who would play Akinfenwa in a movie? So who would play you in the like movie of your
Some
life?
people say, you know, like me and Tyrese look the same. Nah, not going with that. Nah. It'd probably be like Terry Crews, probably. Terry Crews would probably be like, he'd probably play Akinfenwa.
Yeah.
If not, I'll play myself.
Yeah, decent. I like that, yeah. And then I think we've got. Do you play FIFA? Does Akinfenwa play FIFA?
Yeah, I used to play it a lot more when I had a lot more time. But then having the 5 kids jumping on my neck and at home, it's less time. But yeah, when I get opportunities to play FIFA, like on away games and that, with the youngsters and that, yeah, I play FIFA.
And it's the last question. Is Akinfenwa the strongest footballer in the world?
No, not the world.
Not the world.
The universe. Hey, you get me? So, yeah, until the day I retire, I'm constantly going to be that guy. And I know somebody's going to say, you're not the strongest no more, there's a rumour, rah, somebody got an upgrade. It's a lie. That's all it is. So
I can confirm you're the strongest anyway from hearing that punch you lay on Smithy all those months ago.
It's true. We call it a love touch, you know what I'm saying?
Is that what it is?
It was a love touch.
Is there any footballer that you kind of wouldn't fancy having a bit of a scrap with?
Scrap?
Yeah, like genuine, like
Oh no, nah. I'd scrap anybody. Like, not in a bad way. I'd scrap anybody. Like, but I want to and I don't want to. Verge would be the one because I've stood up against Verge and he is wham. He's a big guy. His head's big. So it would be a real colossal battle. So I would love it, but he's the one I'd be like, oh gosh. I'll have to be on my real game with him. But on a scrap, nah, man. No.
So you would back yourself against any footballer?
Fight-wise?
Yeah, fight-wise.
Yeah, I'd back myself against any footballer fight-wise.
What about someone who's quite experienced in that area, you know, someone like a Joey Barton?
Well, I think we should...
look, I mean, to be fair, I'm going to see, like, Joey Martin at the last game of the season, you know what I'm saying? So he probably hear this and then may want to scrap. I don't want to have to scrap him, you know what I'm saying? Because you know what will happen.
Dave, big question for the panel from Nick Webster. He said, who do we think Manchester United should buy to fix their right-wing issue?
Who should Man United buy?
I mean, there's a lot of talk of Sancho coming in for that 100 million.
I think he would be a great signing for anyone.
Yeah.
I think he is the real deal, isn't he? Like, you know...
It's exciting, isn't it? I mean, speaking of that England conversation that we had earlier, Hudson-Odoi, Sancho.
100%. Sancho would be awesome.
That's great, by the way.
Double yesterday for Dortmund, became the youngest player to 11 Bundesliga goals in history. I think he'd be quite difficult to get hold of, though. Yeah. I think he's got a pretty big release clause, and I think he costs upwards of 100 million after the season he's he's got something like 18 goals, 11 assists, although he does take pens. He's been electric for Lille this year, and backed up a good year last year as well. So it's not just a one-season wonder. So yeah, one of those two would be class. But yeah, they've got a lot of issues. Well, not a lot of issues, but a few areas that they could strengthen as well. They obviously need a new centre back. They could probably get a right back in as well. There's talks of Aaron Wan-Bissaka being still, you know, constantly linked to Man United. So yeah, it's going to be a busy window in Manchester.
Do they keep Pogba?
Yeah, I mean, if you can, I think that's apply for a new contract, all that Real Madrid talk. But yeah, you can't. That team needs Pogba if they're going to win a title in the next 3-4 years, hands down. Yeah.
And what are the Sunderland need to do, mate?
Sunderland.
It's actually a Sunderland question.
We're in the mixer, actually. I was going to ask Bayo, have you ever been linked with Sunderland? Any near moves?
To be fair, it's a bit too far for me.
Fair. Wanted to stay down south.
Yeah, I'm a London boy. Yeah, and it was a bit tasty when Sunderland came down to Wickham recently. Yeah, anyway, let's just move on swiftly.
Well, Advance Australia says, are Sunderland bound for the Championship, Dookie? I mean, I'd like to get Birmingham in this defence, so it'd be remiss of me.
We did have quite a good week up until... I mean, we obviously lost to Pompey in the Checker Trade Trophy final, but then bounced back with 2 good wins, and then came up to yesterday against Coventry and lost 5-4 at home, which was just a shock to the system. Didn't see it coming. Slap in the face. So we're in the mix for automatic, but probably going to end up in the playoffs. So
obviously you see James Milner warming up. Is there any Liverpool sub that you want to see to come on, or are they doing the right things?
Nah, I mean for now it's cool, and I'm always cool with that. You know, if we ain't got it, he's always going to up the tempo, or if Hendo's not on, they're going to up the tempo. So that's that. To be fair, I think we can afford to bring Shaqiri on as well. So they're the ones, but I do feel Milner will be the first sub. I think he'll see it 10 minutes. If no goal, no change, Milner.
Didn't realise till today, 8th on the all-time Premier League appearances, Milner. 7th for all-time assists. It's quite a good, incredible record. Obviously, he's been playing since he was 16. So he's got enough games in there, but really good record from Milner.
What Smithy's stat, Dave, he always drags out every show? It's Milner's never lost when he's
scored. Something like that. Longest record in the Premier League, I think.
That's insane, that.
Yeah, 30-odd games, I think. Fair enough.
We'll have to bring him on. One of the things we did mention speaking to you about, the big relegation scrap. I mean, it's huge in League One, isn't it? Something from like 23rd to 11th, I think. It seems to still go down.
Yeah, it's massive. It's massive. It's so tight. And next weekend's going to be, there's 4 games left. And come Monday, you're going to know what's going to happen, you know, with the games Friday, Monday. We got 2 colossal games. We got Rochdale Friday, Warsaw Monday. And like I said, any one from 8 teams can still go down. So yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. I'll back our team all day, every day to get through this situation. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it.
I know you said you're playing next year, but would that definitely be at Wickham?
Yeah, that's the plan. That's 100% the plan. We're sitting down talking right now. I'm enjoying myself. Maybe taking a little bit of a different role and let the young pups run a little bit more next season. But yeah, I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying myself there immensely. Yeah. So fingers crossed we do what we need to do and we'll be playing Ipswich next season.
Quick question. when you do sit down and you have these discussions, and do they kind of let you know beforehand that, you know, we're going to start bringing in X amount, so there's probably less game time for you next season than there is this season?
I think good managers do. I think, so I'll say new age managers are, I think man management is as important as tactical, and a good manager will know what a player can bring and what a player can't bring. So if he can't do it on the pitch like he used to, and the manager thinks he can still do it in the changing room, he'll have that conversation. Say, listen, you're not going to play as much, but trust me, you are as important off the pitch as you are. Exactly. And I just think that's, like, I think anybody, not even just football, in the walk of life, you want to know where you stand. You know what I'm saying? So I'll always say good managers will let you know. And I think bad managers will be like, look, it's my way, and deal with it. So good managers.
Who's the best manager that you work with in that respect, in terms of keeping communication open?
It's hard because I think different points in my life I've needed different things. So a younger B didn't need to have my arm around me, or, you know what I'm saying, an older... managers. Gareth Ainsworth for me right now is the perfect manager for where I am in my career, both on and off the pitch. I learned how to win from Kenny Jackett. I learned from every manager I played with. But I would say Kenny Jackett, I learned a lot. And Gareth Ainsworth, I learned a lot. And all the other managers, I learned from you as well. Don't get mad at me, do you know what I'm saying?
Is Gareth, because he played at that, he played long into his career and at that level, so he's got a great understanding of that.
Yeah, and his man management is second to none. And I'll always say energy is infectious, both positive and negative. And no matter what, he tries to bring that positive energy. Like, we just went on an obscenely bad run, and he still was coming in and, you know, trying to smile, and you knew it hurt him. You knew, but if he came in and was like, oh, the gaffer's on one, we would be on one. So, you know what I'm saying? And of course, because he played so long, he respects, I feel like he's got an added respect for the older senior pros. Yeah. So it's a good balance. Yeah, it's a good balance.
Cool, so the teams are almost back out now. I don't believe there's been any changes. My producer might tell me differently, but I don't believe there's been any changes.
Jimmy Milner looks very, very warmed up.
Yeah, he looks like he's had
it's difficult to see how the second half goes. Obviously, like, it's on Liverpool to win here, isn't it? Like, you know, like if you're a Chelsea fan, you're quite happy.
I'm happy with a draw. Yeah, I'll take it away at Anfield. If someone offered it to me, I would take it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's still enough games and enough slip-ups. For the other teams fighting for top four to lose points, so I think it would be a point gained rather than two dropped.
Yeah. I mean, this will be, well, I was about to say Liverpool's final big test, but they've still got to play Wolves, who've been great against the top six. Still got to play Cardiff, who are potentially fighting for their lives. So there's really, I mean, everyone's like, Man City have a much harder running. At this stage of the year, there's no easy game, unless you're playing, you know, a completely bang mid-table side who don't have so much to play for.
It's even like yesterday, though, isn't it? Fulham beating Everton.
Strange, isn't it, that was? Yeah.
Crazy. Scott Parker's first win.
Even when, you remember when Spurs were vying for that second place and they all
but were they actually ever vying for the second place?
No, not this season. I remember when they had to beat Newcastle on the final day, and Newcastle were relegated, and Newcastle won 5-0.
And then Arsenal sneaked in.
And then there you go, Dave.
So that was good, wasn't it?
Speaking of Arsenal, big game on Monday, Monday Night Football.
The way I see it, if we can't win these games, then we don't deserve Champions League football. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, as you say, we were in a position, kind of Liverpool should be, and after this game, like, we'd played all our big teams, you know, and we're supposed to just, don't worry, we had a lot of away games to play.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it?
But again, if we're not good enough, then we don't deserve Champions League football.
Yeah.
You know, it's
your away form,
it's ridiculous.
It baffles me.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I think you won 4 away games last year, and this year it's just been nearly as bad.
You scored or won the same amount as Ipswich, because we were playing them yesterday, and they just been relegated from the Championship.
Ridiculous.
So
crazy. I mean, if it's done on home form alone, they'd be. I think on the home table they're right up there with Liverpool and Man City. I think, But yeah, just away from home, so lax. But then, you know, at home this week, they proved again what they can do when they turn up. That great performance against Napoli.
Well, I never thought I'd say this, but I'll be glad to see Granit Xhaka back in the team.
Well, you've changed your team.
Yeah, I know. You know, and again, like it's again, Aaron Ramsey cannot be faulted at all. Like, you know,
No, what a professional.
Yeah.
Is that not the strangest decision of the whole entire season, apart from David Silva growing his hair again? Is Arsenal letting him go?
I think there was a contract offer, and then he didn't want it in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough, because he started being linked with your Bayerns, your Juves.
And to be fair, what's he got from Juve? 300 grand a week?
400. More.
400.
Yeah, I think he's the most paid British player.
I think he's fourth in the world next year for payment.
Not bad for Aaron Ramsey.
I am looking for an agent. So. That is fantastic.
Yeah, his agent deserves a knighthood. It's absolutely mental. But
great
great
again,
sign
if you
for
think of it as well, like they're getting him on a free.
Exactly.
So you would happily pay.
It's like Sanchez, isn't it?
Exactly.
45 million pound for him, at least, maybe. You know, you look in today's market, if you just give it to the player, you know,
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I like the fancy Arsenal to finish top 4. Then.
Speaking of him, Duke, is he like going to be not a replacement for Can, but will he be vying for positions with Emre Can at Juventus?
Yeah, I mean, this year they've tended to use Pjanic and Bentancur and Matuidi, and Can sort of come in occasionally for the occasional appearance. But yeah, I think he'll go. I think he'll go straight into that midfield, possibly over Bentancur. Even though Bentancur has played really well when he's came in, they're just going to have a plethora of options.
Yeah.
And we've seen it so many times with players ageing really well in Italy as well. Yeah. The Juventus and AC Milan in particular are really known for their like state-of-the-art medical centres and how they can really extend your career. So I mean, it's just a great move for Ramsey. I'm pleased for him, and the way he's handled the whole thing.
Do you think
really
he goes straight in and he's a starting player?
I mean, I think he'll play at least 25 games. But, you know, if they're hoping to play 50, 60 a year, he'll just be a great option for them to have. And slightly different from their current midfielders.
Perfect for that league, just because it's not so fast, and he is quite leggy. And he gets around, he's so industrious. So I do think he'll fit in quite well at the old lady and just...
Yeah. Definitely. Also, Matuidi and Bentancur and Pjanic, well, Pjanic takes free kicks, but none of them are really known for great goal output. Yeah. And obviously, they don't have a massive issue of goals with, you know, the likes of Bernardeschi, Dybala, Ronaldo, obviously. But a goal-scoring midfielder is so important in today's, you know.
I think what's good as well is he chose to leave the Prem as well. So if you were going to go on a free, at least he's not going to play for a rival.
It's a good move from him, and well handled from him.
Yeah. Yeah, because honestly, no Arsenal fan can fault him at all. Like
Whereas, the last person to leave on a free going to Man United hasn't worked out as well. The old Doug Lover.
On like a free, it's not worked out too well for Alexis, has it?
No, it hasn't.
It's mad that in that deal, Mkhitaryan has slightly been the better. You've had the better value in that.
He's played well recently. I've not been his biggest fan most of the season, but in the last couple of games he's been playing particularly well. And then since he's come back from from international duty, he's kind of gone. But to be fair, we haven't played well since we've come back from international duty.
Just to sum it up, do you think you'll win tomorrow?
Yes, I think we have to.
Do you think they'll be slightly foot off the gas as well because of the old FA Cup?
I kind of hope so.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think it's an easy place to go anymore. It's not. You've got your Gray and Deeney up front, and they're going to cause. If I'm honest, they love to play against Arsenal. Yeah. In particular,
Deeney really gets fired up for that game, doesn't he?
You know, as far as they're concerned,
last time, wasn't it?
You know, Arsenal have a soft centre, and that works for Troy Deeney.
Yeah. We had a pretty, you know, strong debate this week on Sunday Vibes, one of our shows, about who's had the better year, Sarri or Emery. I was interested to hear what you guys think. Dan, what do you reckon? I suppose it's sort of dependent on who finishes fourth. But.
Yeah, I suppose it is. I mean, I'm not too impressed with Emery, if I'm honest, just because I feel like he's come in and it's a little bit more of the same from Arsenal. I saw there was like a few games and I saw all the Arsenal fans come out and we got our Arsenal back and all of that.
Chance of Liverpool. Back post.
Mane! Go! And we said Mane would score first.
Yeah, that's
right.
My
days.
They were right.
I'm telling you, we came out with more tempo in the second half.
But, come on
Do you
now.
know what happened there? For around,
Yes!
around the last 40
I stupidly
seconds,
wasn't watching.
I saw loads of players that should have just put their foot through the ball.
Come on, Mane.
Just
Mane,
tapping
big
it
time
around.
player, you know.
Talk us for this goal.
All right, look, and watch him. Watch, he didn't give it up. Look,
Emerson.
bam. Look, that's Firmino that dinks it. Oi.
Listen, you see, for
Look,
me,
Firmino.
I hate this
No, it's
culture
Henderson.
of defenders just
Oh, no, it was Hendo. Sorry.
Great
Hendo, I'll take it back. Hendo, you're a bad man as well, cuz. You're a bad man, Hendo. Yes!
What a massive
That's a
goal.
massive goal. That's a massive goal.
Get it.
Goal, we needed that. That's
Oi.
Get that from Hendo as well. Right. under the
Hendo,
top.
that's it. Tell him your name, Hendo.
That's a massive couple of games for him, isn't it?
He's turning into like an attacking midfield goal.
really
massive,
really
massive.
persistent play from Salah there as well. You could have given that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets in there.
In the sense of tempo-wise, pin you lot in your half.
Oh, it's happening, isn't it?
I'd like some changes now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you reckon,
yeah,
Dan?
who
Who-
do
who-
you
I
have
think,
to
I
bench?
think we can get Hudson-Odoi off. I don't think he's been nullified completely. I'd probably stick on Pedro instead. I'd bring on Giroud. We can play this differently now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I'd be more worried.
Oh,
Oh, here we go
I'd be
again.
more worried. Oh,
See, like,
Your-
I don't
your
mind. I don't
BT
mind
your
this. Yeah,
BT
I don't
section
mind
is-
it. But I prefer. We've just given you the ball back right there in front of you. Just rosette that ball, you know. And I know there's this big culture of defenders having to be able to play out from the back, but you have to remember you got to defend as well.
Yeah.
And just sometimes whip it and buy yourself 15 seconds rather than try
I
and do
totally agree.
tiki-taka.
There's such an obsession with fullbacks in particular having to do everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes just the basics, just calm the game down, slow it down a bit. You've just conceded.
keep frustrating Hazard.
Don't give them another chance.
And now what they're going to do, because they know Emerson's head's gone,
yeah.
is they're just
Oh,
going to...
oh, what a Oh, Salah!
I believe that. I said it.
What a goal that
I
is.
love that celebration as
My
well.
head is
What's that?
spinning. I swear down. I'm seeing stars, green clovers, and everything.
That was...
What a strike.
Oh!
It's outrageous.
Yo!
my
yes!
God. It's
I'll
so
say
good.
it for you. Salah, this weekend has been bad. Oh, yes. Oh,
what a
yes.
strike that is.
Absolute rocket.
Oh, my, yes, get down. Yes.
I love it. I love it when the ball
Yes.
never moves in the air. You know, it's
Yes.
a complete pure strike.
Yes.
This game has just
Yes.
completely blown up.
What's the
Here
touch?
we go.
There.
Brings it in.
What?
Emerson.
Go, Alberto. Oh, what a goal.
You said it was in from when it left his foot.
The thing is, it wasn't even...
It was no.
It wasn't even... Look, I'm saying it wasn't even in the corner.
Because it was
It was
in
like
from when it
central-
left his
central right.
foot. Bah!
To be fair, I wouldn't blame... There's not too much blame you can attach
Nah.
to anyone there. Emerson shows him inside. Jorginho comes to close him down. But it is just a rocket shot.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about that.
Does the keeper have enough time to move his feet over just a touch, does he?
Yes.
Yeah, potentially.
I'm sorry, I don't know what y'all chatting. Yeah. I don't even know what you... Yeah, that's it. King Kenny, yeah, I'm with you.
What a
That man said he don't turn up on
That's what we
big games,
needed.
yeah? He said he don't turn up in big
then
games,
you-
yeah?
watch now.
That's Mo Salah.
Now watch this.
Yeah, watch what, yeah?
No. As in, it's not anything for you to be scared of. It's more for me to be scared of. This is
Oh
what
my
again?
God!
Oh.
Now,
I
remember
thought we
when
had
I
a
say
third.
Chelsea have that
get
self-destruct
smashed,
button. Chelsea don't get beat over 90 minutes.
22
But Chelsea
go-
have a horrible 10, 15 minutes in them.
Yeah.
And they have it in them every few games.
What
And
do you reckon
this
the
is-
gap was between that? A couple of 2 minutes max?
And this is what happens. Once someone's head's gone,
That's it, isn't it? Yeah.
that's it.
Oh.
And Emerson didn't even really do much wrong in showing him inside, but then Jorginho
beautiful.
probably had to react just a touch quicker.
Yeah.
Dave's that the best goal we've seen on the social?
Let me tell you why he showed him inside.
Andros Townsend.
A minute ago,
Were you on
he
the
showed him the
Facebook?
line,
Exactly,
and
yeah.
he ran. He didn't
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
run again. He didn't want to run again.
Yeah.
So that was Mo Salah's 22nd goal in all competition, 19
Foul
in
him
the
now.
league.
Foul him now.
Yeah,
Well
well done,
done.
Naby. Don't know why I'm suddenly a Liverpool fan. I think Salah's goals
We
just got
all
me
are
going.
secretly, Dave.
What a goal that
Stick
was.
to your roots, Diggy. Stick to your roots.
Now it's a completely
This
different
just
game,
changed
now, isn't
everything
it? Yeah,
in 3
completely
minutes,
different
you
game
know.
now.
And this is what frustrates me so much about Chelsea, is the fact that we don't go 1-0 down. We go instantly 2-0 down. And it happens a lot. And we should have done this a minute ago.
You called it, Savage Dan.
So the way coming off Gonzalo Higuain.
In a way, you can't really... The thing is, you can't train for individual errors. You can't train for, like, certain things.
Like wonder goals.
Yeah, wonder goals. So I can't even really moan too much, but...
I'd be more worried about your plan B. I would have... I mean, to be fair, Druid would just go on Matip. I'd have put Druid on. I would have said, go on Matip. Because this is when, you know... We're rattled.
Yeah.
Chelsea are rattled completely. Look,
Salah is causing absolute mayhem.
Salah's on
Look
one.
at this.
Handball.
Never.
No.
Just get rid of that ball, guys.
Done.
Stop being...
Salah's on one.
Salah is
it must be smelling fear. On one. Go take him.
Also, who said 2-0? Someone said 2-0 with Mark. Did you not?
I don't think this will end 2-0.
Salah.
I said 2-1.
2-1, all right.
I've got 2-0 on.
Yeah?
With Mane to score first.
I hope people placed it on that 9-1 bet. Was it 9-1?
It is all Liverpool
Now,
at the
look,
moment.
Chelsea
crazy.
are 5 yards off all over the pitch now. And this is where it needs someone to just get on the ball and either whip it 100 yards
Yeah, you haven't
and pull it into Rosette, instead of trying to do that silly thing where we play 3 passes on our own box and then knock it so that they have a throw in 15 yards. From,
I agree. You haven't strung 5 passes together for about 10 minutes.
Dan, does this come back to as well, like, Chelsea not really... Like, when I look at Liverpool, I go, like, Milner, Henderson. Chelsea haven't got that, like...
Okay, yeah, so I say men. I feel like, thank you. I feel like if you want to win a league, I feel like you need a lot of men in that team. Probably before you have the more talented, flamboyant players, men are what gonna win it probably before that. So I'm obviously been spoilt with like the days of having, Essien, Lampard, Ballack, Terry, men.
Yeah.
So now when I look at this team and I think of who's like the kind of authoritative person, and you look at it and you think, oh my, it's probably Luiz and Azpilicueta, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's not quite as manly as it was. You see what I'm saying? So.
It's the same issue I've seen in Arsenal for the last 10 years.
Yes,
it's like when you go one, you just need to keep the ball. You just like don't go 2-0 down.
That's
you
it.
know what I mean?
Game management.
Well, I had water here anyway. Oops.
All right, I think we're ready for another prize boost.
Yeah.
Right, you ready? Yeah, you ready for another prize?
I am.
Okay, so Salah to score a brace was 7-2. It's now 9-2. Obviously, you have to be 18 and plus 2. Obviously, place a bet. Odds are accurate at the time, and head over to skybet.com for latest odds. But that is looking that's looking quite attractive, isn't it, Will?
Dave, I can't see that not happening.
Yeah?
I just no way.
Chance for
Game.
that had to go in.
Oh my goodness,
for Chelsea.
my mic's flying.
Dan, what happened there, mate?
I don't know.
Massive chance for Chelsea there. The ball fell to the person you wanted. It was Eden Hazard.
It's one ball.
I think it was Loftus-Cheek played it through to Hazard.
Who is this?
Where did he come from? Oh, woo!
He's offside.
Nah, he's
Beautiful
on for
ball
me.
over the top.
Who is this?
It's just
Great touch.
Was that Jorginho with his
I thought
left?
he would have gone.
exactly what you want.
He did, yeah.
He did everything
Was
right.
that Jorginho with the ball?
I think it was Jorginho with his left.
What
yeah.
a touch.
Oh, yes, no.
Oh, and
How's
on
the keeper
those
done
small
well there?
margins,
How's
titles
the keeper
are
gone out to him?
decided.
Yeah.
And like made himself look big.
I thought he would have just gone round him. Just extra touch.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's trying to. That is the exact player that you want fit to fall to as well, wouldn't it? You wouldn't
In this form as well.
And the thing is, you see, football is cruel. So if that goes
Nice.
in,
You let
it's
them
game
do
on.
it.
And now Chelsea do this.
Yeah.
And
It's good news getting Hazard out of a central position. I mean, they
For
haven't
me,
utilised him
He got
enough.
frustrated, and that was the good thing when you play Hazard as a number 9 with his back to goal, he's no way as good as when you play him
wide
off it.
left.
You know what I'm saying? It's just.
It's a massive 35 minutes or so for Higuain as well. Had a great game. I think it was against Huddersfield. Scored a brace quite early on in his Chelsea time, and then since then not done enough. I don't think. To be leading the line for Chelsea.
I think the thing is that he's obviously decent, but it's like, is he going to get you 25 goals? I don't think. Chance for.
Oh my days!
Again.
Liverpool, what are you doing?
This is football.
That should be 2-2.
What are you doing?
This is football.
I don't get it. See the game out.
Yeah, we were the same things we were criticising Chelsea for 5 minutes ago.
Look at the difference when you've got Hazard where he's making his runs from. For me, playing Hazard as a number 9 is cool. Just keep him there.
Yeah,
but now you've got.
And now you don't know who's
now,
there.
so now he's making runs from all different places.
So was that a good save or was that a bad miss?
Bad miss.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit of a combo, really.
Stop.
I mean,
What are you doing
you'd
now?
expect a quality of a keeper the standard of Alisson to save that every time. But
this is a massive 5 minutes of Liverpool now.
this game in the last 15 minutes has been absolutely mental.
Do it, wide on, good boys.
In a sort of contest to see who can dominate the game.
From Chelsea. They need to get one now, though, didn't they? Oh,
now.
chance again.
Drop.
Where is the marking?
No gambling.
Wow.
Oh, Liverpool need someone just
Get off.
feign an injury for 5 minutes.
This game is exhausting.
Yeah.
Take
No, put him in.
Salah has
take a
just...
magic sponge.
Slow it down. Slow it down.
Ridiculous 10 minutes of football.
Mental 10
And
minutes.
this is what
Slow it
frustrates
down. We
me.
don't need to play
Chelsea
this.
should
We
be
don't
well
need to
back
play
in
this
this
speed.
game.
Yeah.
Chelsea should be back in this game.
Should be 2-2, don't they?
This is the difference between having killers in the team and
Bang it.
really good
Bang
players.
it.
Yeah.
You just...
Good ball.
Oh, I tried it.
Well switched on.
Yeah, well read from William.
Massive, massive
Get
5 minutes
Milner on.
of
Get
Liverpool
Milner on.
now.
Get Milner on just to settle everything now.
Yeah, experienced head. It's a good
Yeah,
shout,
get
actually.
Milner on now, man. Settle this, because we don't need a basketball game. We don't.
Yeah.
He'd be the sort of person just to calm it all down, wouldn't he? Put an arm around a few of them.
I'm trying to think. So is it Higuain's made a difference, or is it more that you've got Hazard where you want him?
I think it's more that you've got Hazard when you want him. Look at that.
Yeah. They're 2-0 down. They've got nothing to lose.
They've got to go for it.
At least it's been a good response from that 5 minutes, because it could have easily just become...
free, and then you're
But-
really hard done.
Yeah, this is... Oh, there you are.
Again, they're in all the time. What's
Hey,
going on?
Gonzalo!
Oh my
You're
gosh.
a number 9!
Oh, he wasn't off.
You're a striker!
Oh, but
That's just not
everybody
good enough,
stopped.
What's going on?
Bale, I know it's an old football cliche, but they always say that the most dangerous time
Yes.
is when you
100%.
just scored. Is
100%.
that real?
It's real. It's
Really?
real.
But
it's
why?
real.
Why?
Because your mentality changes.
Okay.
Like, and the best teams, like City, they score and want to score again. So when you score, you feel like, oh, yeah, take it off him. Yeah.
tackle.
It is. You just be like, oh, everything we've just done, we've got to where we want to get to.
Yeah.
Plus, the other team's mentality changes because they're like, oh, well, listen, now City's going to, I mean, Chelsea's going to play their best football now because they've got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
They're 2-0 down. So they've got no shackles. You know what I'm saying?
Oi.
Hold on, come on.
Tell you what, if this was the NFL, Klopp would be calling a big timeout card now, wouldn't he?
they really would.
Ah, get up.
Just a little 5 minutes, everyone settle
This
down.
is it, though, isn't it? This is where
But
Liverpool's in the field now.
we don't need to play
Gonzalo,
like
this is
this. I
where
don't get it.
you've got to make that run across and then wait for Hazard to come.
God, Fabinho and Henderson are absolutely knackered. Barely
Get
getting
him
back
off,
into
get
it.
him.
Why
Get
is
someone.
Robertson charging along like that?
Yeah, I just,
Stupid, isn't it? Yeah.
Chew your beans.
Especially with a 2-0 lead. You just wait, just relax.
I think this is where men make a difference, and players that are over 30 and that have seen this game for the last
experience.
15 years can just say, all right, guys, settle down now. This should have happened probably a few minutes ago for
It's
Liverpool.
an absolute cool
Yeah, this is what
atmosphere as
Liverpool
well.
should have just killed the momentum of this game.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear it. I mean, we've only got the volume on a little bit here, but you can hear the atmosphere coming through on this game. It seems like it's absolutely kicked off in the last 15 minutes. And it is bound to have more goals in it, this game.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
It's been like a basketball game the last 15
Nah,
minutes.
it's cool.
Wijnaldum.
We can keep it like this. Keep it 2-0. I don't need any more goals.
Bale, what do you think of
Not
Jesus
working on the
coming?
goal difference?
Yeah, I hear that, to be fair.
Who do you think he's gone off for? Henderson? I don't know.
I'll
Like
take
as you like
Keita as
captain. well.
I'll take him off.
Yeah.
Hendo in these situations, though, he's like passion is brilliant,
So what,
but it
you
also
just wanna-
could be like a sort of room for concern. Do you think, Doogie, as well?
I think so. I mean, you've got a fair point there. He's very, he's just ultra competitive, Henderson. I've never seen a more committed player in many respects, and but in fairness, he's got quite a good disciplinary record. I can't remember that many red cards. But yeah, captain of the club. This is where he needs to come in. Continue to dominate this midfield. But Salah's on the attack again.
What part of these players don't understand? Just send him on his right foot. If in this possession,
So true, isn't it?
it's the lesser of it's two evils.
Yeah.
But pick the lesser one. Put such a left-footed player on his left foot, and
That's a
half
good
your
point,
problems are
actually.
gone.
Even
On
Sunday
his
League,
right
after
foot,
5
sorry.
minutes, you know which player the best foot is, isn't
That's
it? He's watched him
That's
4,000 times.
I mean,
You know exactly what he wants to do.
He should have.
Yeah, everything good in this whole Liverpool, all Liverpool attacks pretty much has come through Salah
He should score
on the right-hand
Matip
side.
got absolutely lost.
He's given Emerson a torrid
We need
time.
another. I can't wait till Gomez comes back.
He's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah, we need Gomez back.
Yeah, Joe Gomez. Before his injury, he was, up there with one of the best centre-backs in the league, I
Him and
thought.
VVD. Yeah,
That's
Awesome.
the future, isn't it?
yeah, that's the future.
It's a good change.
I've
Called good change. Good change.
I've also seen chat this week that Alderweireld, he's got a release clause, and there's talk that Liverpool might sign him. So they'll
That's a good
have
signing as well.
Gomez, Van Dijk, and Alderweireld. I mean, that's a seriously strong roster.
And the best defender in the world. Love him.
Exactly. I mean,
And his
why
own words,
bother
not
with
mine.
anyone else? Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a decent run. This is all Liverpool needs to do now. Just keep the ball for a bit, didn't they? It's like,
Oh, here we go. Another chance.
chance for Liverpool. Do you think that was a good sub for Liverpool there?
Yeah.
Bit of energy.
just
Holden
energy.
coming on for Keita. Just maybe a bit more composure.
Me,
as well.
Milner would be.
Got to get the obligatory Divock Origi appearance in as well. Where's this going? Look at Trent there, back post. He's looking
The only
Look
thing
how
is,
many men we got in the
at
box.
2-0.
At 2-0. We only got one way to play it. We only got one way. But,
But do you think that might cost Liverpool in the long run?
well, to be fair, look at it. We had two back. I mean, and it's only Higuain,
And he ain't exactly.
and he's not going to beat you in
Gas,
for. He's not going to beat you in for pace. So,
Yeah.
I guess.
But is it because you're so much better going forward?
Yeah, best form of our best form of defensive attack. I'm saying.
although your defence this year has really stepped
Yeah,
up, I
actually
think.
has.
I don't even think of that Spurs game, when I know it was Sissoko, but the way VVD dealt with that
Yeah,
one-on-one
it's quite
situation.
No, he was awesome in that. I did think that was slightly overhyped, though. I don't know whether it's just me.
same. I do as well.
I thought that was quite standard.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of defenders doing it. I mean,
I mean,
obviously.
if
Nah.
Sissoko pelts that top bins, we don't talk about it
Yeah.
at all.
Did you think? I mean,
It's just
Bale-
poor
as a
striking.
I was here. I thought it was immense defending.
really?
It was what you have. Is what I expect a defender to.
Yeah.
But the worst thing is what people expect and what people do nowadays. It's not assault.
things, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's more. Even you're talking about like fullbacks. We're looking more at their assists than their tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what defending has become like now.
Yeah.
So when you see somebody who literally is, it's just defending. It's just good,
Yeah.
old-fashioned,
Yeah.
real good defending. And it was literally, it was his body shape. He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
body shape
It
put
made
him
you
where he
have to
wanted
go
to.
that way. Yeah. It was the correct decision, but I've seen people saying it's the best piece of defending they've ever seen. And stuff like that.
People were comparing him to Maldini
Yeah.
afterwards. I was like, have a day off.
I mean, the big example of that was when Loftus-Cheek came on in the World Cup. He played for 12 minutes and people were comparing him to Gaza. Do you know what I mean? That's social media.
That's the world we live in these days.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I got compared to a young BVD the other week playing 11 aside, but
Did you?
that's the world we live in. Really? Social media.
A couple of towering headers in your VVD.
Come on, man.
There you go, Hazard. Yeah.
All chance.
Good boy.
Touch.
He's getting in, man.
He's just so in the mood, Hazard, isn't he?
Oh, he's dumping.
There you go. Now be
Oh,
Speaking of social media, you can still get your questions in.
Yes.
At
Come on,
Football
boys.
Daily, at Soccer AM.
Yes,
Tweet us on the old YouTube, everything.
they're coming in. Freddie K said more goals for Wilf's prediction. I don't think that's going to happen. Al Mitchell, question for you, Dan. I know we spoke about it at the start of the stream, but we've had lots of people coming in
Here we go.
since the goals.
Here we go.
Are you a Sarri in or Sarri out, man?
Do you know what? It's changed. It's gone up and down a bit this season. So I would say at the moment I am a Sarri in, only because I've seen Chelsea change managers so many times.
Yeah.
But I would like some Sarri change.
Yeah.
And we're beginning to see it. He's beginning to listen and play players. But when you
today's
get these
good.
these managers that are so tactically stubborn. Very Italian. We've had a few Italian managers.
Yeah.
All our previous managers actually are very stubborn, set in their ways, and this is how we want to play, and you're not going to change us. And I just would like Sarri to see some things that I think most fans see pretty obviously.
Right.
So playing probably the world's best ball winner, 20 yards ahead of the ball is probably not the best thing to do.
No.
here.
I'm not the manager of Chelsea yet, but I would play him behind.
Odds have just slashed.
I would play him behind the ball, and I know he's so industrious and he can get around everywhere, and he is effectively like he's a box-to-box midfielder. But I still think he's best at winning the ball.
I think it was also strange. We think he's generally the best in the world at his position, and you don't play him in that position.
Yeah.
I think also whoever is going to be in charge of Chelsea, it's going to be a tough job in the summer. Obviously, they physically cannot spend any money, so they're either going to have to look at what players have got out on loan and build a better team out of them, or
I think that's
quite. It is what he's got. You know
it's
what I mean?
quite exciting though, from my perspective. I don't know, obviously, Dan, you've got to live through it, but it's like having those players come back in. It almost feels like a new dawn.
I mean, I don't think Chelsea has a personnel problem. I think we do have a little bit of a mentality problem at the moment.
Salah.
Kante doing what he does best.
Where our heads go down, and during that moment where, you know, football just does that thing where it just punishes you for every mistake you make.
Yeah.
And Chelsea have had that a lot this season, and I think maybe we've used up all our luck.
Oh, lovely turn.
Go on, Trent.
Higuain, you come on.
What was Trent doing on that? Oh,
Trent,
because it was a
Trent
corner.
turned him. And
You
he
just
just
Run,
stood
Trent,
there.
run, Trent, run, Trent.
He's absolutely ridiculous, isn't he? He's such a good player.
Can just do about anything.
Hazard's a problem.
But yeah, I mean, Chelsea have got
isn't it,
lots of talent that is out on loan at the moment. I mean, Tammy Abraham's out on loan still. That hasn't been made permanent.
I mean, I
Ola
personally
Aina at
still
Torino.
think this team, the 23-man squad that we have at the moment, next season, even if we kept that exact squad, could win the league. It's just mentality. And I feel like still, even though we've got, we could have better players, but 90% of football for me is still between your ears.
I agree with that.
So I think if you get in people's heads and you get some momentum going, all of a sudden you feel unbeatable, you become unbeatable. You know, Marcus Alonso was ridiculous from...
You need a better number 9.
We do.
Okay.
And that's what Chelsea
That's
had
where
with
you
Costa.
look at it. Of course. I think you look at every single team that will win the league and their striker will get 20-plus goals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That Costa, when they
And I
run
would
it,
say
they
we're
need that.
probably in an era where we've probably got less world-class strikers now than we've ever had. So we go back, you know, 10 years, 20 years, and they were 9.
Football's different now.
It was different.
It's not 4-4. It used to be 4-4-2, striker-based.
Strikers used to get all strikers used to get 20 a season, you know, and now
I just think that you look at it. Salah. He's not even a striker. He's a winger stroke forward. So now football's changed now. So that's the reason why I don't think it's now harder to find good number 9s down the middle.
Which is why I'm upset that when you do have one, you text him and tell him, nah, we don't need you anymore.
Yeah, but you're not seeing what... Look, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, but you don't see what's going on in the changing room. You understand what I'm saying? We only see handball.
I mean, they've also been slightly vindicated in that. Chelsea got, I think, 55 million for Diego Costa. And he's only scored, I think he scored 3 goals this year.
And he's got himself a 90-gate ban,
And he's got another ban now. He's had loads of injuries.
Yeah, he got, was it an 8-match ban?
That's what some unrepeatable words. What he's gonna... The interesting thing this summer with Morata as well, because obviously he's on loan at Atletico Madrid, obligation to buy. Does he now come back in because they can't sign a replacement? And he looks pretty miserable for his final few months. And pretty disinterested as well on the Sarri. So it's going to be fascinating. Another chance for Liverpool.
Hendo, back post!
Flip it, Hend.
Well done. That would do.
That was good defending from Chelsea there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Looking like Ross Barkley's going to come on. Who do you think he's going to come on for? Who is he
Well,
gonna
Kovacic isn't on because that's usually the one. I think it'll be Loftus-Cheek will come off. We don't need Kovacic probably for this game because he's very he's going to give you a bit of control of the game, but I don't think we want that. We just want
How would you think he's done? Because obviously when he first joined, he looked like a really, really good player, but he's kind of gone off the ball a bit, hasn't he?
Who, Barkley?
No,
love the free kick.
Kovacic.
Kovacic, no, I think he's really good, but I actually think he's been really consistent as well.
Okay.
He's just... Chelsea, the way Chelsea play, are going to have lots of possession anyway. We have, 60, 70% possession against most teams. Kovacic is going to keep that ball taken over, very good at recycling the ball. And I don't think he's super effective because we've already got so many players that do hold the ball,
that role,
that we kind of need more penetration.
Okay.
So he's kind of one of many players that kind of do the same role in, Barkley, Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek. In many ways, they're the same player.
Okay.
And he's the one out of them that's probably best at knocking the ball and bouncing.
Okay.
But he's the least penetrative of the lot.
Yeah, his pass accuracy is right up there with the best in the league.
Yeah.
Very comfortable in possession. But I think you're right. In those explosive moments, probably doesn't have it.
Yeah.
But he's another one. At Real Madrid last year, he generally swapped in for Casemiro at the base of midfield.
Exactly.
So he's another player who's not necessarily playing in his best role.
Yeah.
It just seems like they've got so many good players in midfield, Chelsea, but not the right setup.
Yeah. And I think that can kill you. I think nowadays where football's so tactically like astute, I feel like you have to really have a nailed-on position, or you'll kind of get lost in these teams.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 15 minutes to go. This is massive, Liverpool, isn't it? Like they have to get the 3 points, don't they?
It's like they weathered that storm.
Yeah,
I mean, and with Milner coming on now, hopefully he can grab a hold of the game and just settle it down for this last 15 minutes. But Hazard looks like he's on one, doesn't he?
Yeah, big time.
So it's like pretty much like for like, isn't it? They'll play in the same position. You know, hopefully he can keep the ball a little bit better. He's played really well today, I thought, Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, great assist for that opening goal. Yeah. Obviously, that rocket from Salah, you can't do anything about that. But he was the difference maker in that key moment, chipping the ball up for Mane, and covered a lot of ground today, all over the pitch. I think he was really accurate with his passing. Another great match from Henderson. He's finishing the season really strongly.
So he was injured, wasn't he? But he looked fine, didn't he? Like maybe he was just getting ready to come off then.
Yeah, I think it was probably a sub that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah. Maybe cramp
just accelerated.
Yeah.
Gents, question in from on our socials. It's from Titus. From Ethan Price. He said, "Who will finish 7th in the Prem?" Now it's not a race we've been
7th.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
that's an interesting.
Sounds funny because obviously
Wolves done.
But we've got that Europa League place probably coming into it as well.
Yeah, I mean, if City win the FA Cup, then 7th gets Europe, don't they?
So Leicester are currently there on 47, Wolves are on 47, Everton are on 46, Watford are on 46, and West Ham on 46.
I am going to go with Leicester. I think Leicester have been pretty good under Brendan Rodgers. They obviously had that disappointing result against Newcastle on Friday.
A blip.
Really surprising, but Vardy did miss a big chance in that game, which he'd normally stick away. But I just think it's a really exciting time to be a Leicester fan. Really good young talent there, Chilwell, Tielemans. Tielemans is only on loan, but if they could get him permanently, that'd be awesome. Harvey Barnes coming through, Damari Gray's look a bit more effective than normal. Still got Vardy, still banging in the goals.
Maddison.
Maddison's been exceptional. Big shout for Young Player of the Year. And it's just an exciting time for Leicester. But yeah, it could be Wolves as well. Watford have had another good year as well.
I think Watford are in the,
do you reckon?
In the running, definitely.
Firmino,
I think Leicester are a very good team. I think Chilwell, after Robertson, is probably the second best left back in the league.
Maybe Luca Digne as well.
Do you think Chilwell linked with Man City as well?
Chilwell linked with Man City. Yeah, I'm starting to think they might cut their losses with Mendy. Two massive knee injuries. I feel awful for the guy. But also didn't help himself a couple of weeks ago, going out the night before he had training. He was in the club until 3 a.m, which is not what you need when you're trying to show commitment to your team, especially when you've been missing for 12 months in the last 18. Maybe they'll cut their losses and bring in Chilwell. But yeah, either way, I can't see him staying at Leicester next year, because Arsenal are also in the market for Chilwell as well.
We definitely need a left back. In fact,
Chelsea look like they need a left back after today, don't they?
I don't think we're allowed one.
Thank you, my man. Blessings.
I think you've got on loan. I mean, even like Kurt Zouma coming back from Everton.
The thing is, we've got pretty much half of Europe on our books. So I don't think we'll be too concerned with not being able to play players or field players. But it's just a world-class talent. I mean, Chelsea have kind of worked their way into the world elite clubs, like the top 10 clubs in the world. So you need to bring in world-class players now. You're playing Champions League more often than not. And I feel like we've started to fall behind. He's on. We've started to fall behind a lot of the other players.
There, didn't he?
Well done, Trent. Great reading.
Corner to Chelsea.
Yeah, we've started to fall behind the other clubs a little bit, especially due to obviously stadiums and stuff like that. We don't have the most expensive tickets in the world. I think we're on 42 or 44,000 seater stadiums when you've got.
I'm afraid the Stadium of Light's bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. So
I'm probably more filled.
You've got Tottenham. Got 62,000 now, Arsenal on 61. Man, you have had 80,000 since forever.
And the Abramovich situation must be worrying as well. I mean,
the whole thing is worrying. The whole thing is worrying.
Well, it must.
Get everyone up the pitch.
But yeah, I think in order to really get into that next kind of top stratosphere, I feel like Chelsea have to be able to sort out this stadium situation. It's more revenue.
And we need Abramovich to keep on.
Yeah. Or, you know, I mean, there was talk. I know there's talks of us being sold, stuff like that. If we go to some kind of Saudi billionaire, that will work for me as well.
Yeah.
I just want my whole Chelsea back.
Do we think, I mean, if we'd have sat here 10 years ago and said Man City would have been multiple league champions and favourites for the Champions League, we'd have all probably laughed. Do we think Wolves have potentially got that sort of
It's an interesting
future
shout.
ahead of them?
Well,
I mean,
as you say, like
Why they
this
got money like that?
Yeah, big.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like Chinese owned, I think.
Chinese
Okay.
owners, and they got the right people in the right places.
Yeah, that's
And
the
they've
key
got
for them,
Jorge
isn't it?
Mendes
Yeah.
tapping
Yeah.
up, you know, getting it all going, the merry-go-round.
You never know, then.
Yeah, I mean, the standard of players that they've managed to attract this year, being a promoted side,
Well,
and the
Doug,
money
even
they're
having Ruben Neves in the Championship was the
exactly, yeah. I think he was the youngest captain ever in the Champions League, and he was playing for Wolves in the Championship. It was mental. But yeah, Wolves are an exciting proposition. I also think Espirito Santo's been great as well.
Yeah.
Almost think whoever was going to win out of that semi-final between Watford and Wolves was in with a great shout of being manager of the year, and it looks like it might be Javi Gracia, especially if they manage to beat Man City in the FA Cup. But Espirito Santo's been awesome. The way he sets up his team, the results against the top six in particular.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They've been awesome. So yeah, big shout out Wolves.
I guess we'll see, won't we? So, have Liverpool started to? Have they now weathered that storm a little bit now? You know,
Yeah, for me, there's more control. So it's not a basketball game, which
Yeah.
we didn't need to.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing Liverpool, they kind of have only got kind of one way in it. It's all action.
I think it was I kind of realised that when Henderson was walking off, he was walking off very slowly. He just wanted everyone's head to get back to...
Calm down.
That's good, yeah.
And Chelsea are not very good at creating their own tempo, in the sense that as soon as, you know, Liverpool drop theirs, Chelsea seem to drop with it as well.
So you've got one sub left, right? Who would you want to see come on now? Is it
I'd probably bring on
Giroud or-
Pedro.
Pedro, yeah?
Yeah.
They're just such an impressively run club, Liverpool, from where they were a few years ago.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, you looked at the team. I remember seeing a picture of the team that they put out in Klopp's first year in the Champions League game, and it was like Ragnar Klavan and Skrtel, and just, you know, not the players that they have now. And they've just recruited so cleverly as well. Selling Coutinho for 140 million, using that money to bring in Van Dijk, Alisson. Also, signing really effectively from clubs going down as well. Wijnaldum when he went down from Newcastle, Robertson from Hull, Shaqiri from Stoke. It's not just splashing money. They've used it really wisely, and they've sold really well as well. They're an impressively run club, Liverpool, and they don't look like they're going to be, you know, going anywhere soon. I imagine they'll be challenging next year as well.
That's why I'd say, like, direct...
Oh,
there we go.
slip.
It's a slip.
Oh, wow.
Not a slip.
Except this time you're 2-0 up and our heads.
Wow.
Direct
Can you
to the
imagine?
football are, you know, like, quite important. And, and the
100%.
people that bring in these players and negotiate fees and do all the stuff behind the scenes are so important to the club. Which is why I've obviously seen a little bit of a dip since, is it Eminalo's gone. And I feel like our recruitment since then has been a little bit erratic, and it's just a little bit like we can't really work out exactly what we're trying to do here over the next few years.
I think that's the thing Klopp's done so well. He's actually built a team, hasn't he? You know what I mean? Rather than just trying to get 11 players on it, which sounds obvious. He actually looked where he was weak. So obviously he needed a proper centre-half, which every club in the world needs a proper centre-half. But they went, yes, it's going to cost 75 million, but Virgil van Dijk is going to turn us from top 4 club to actual title chasers, aren't he? So, you know,
doesn't it for Chelsea with the managerial turnover? Does it? Like, you've got Conte playing the 3-5-2, then you've got Sarri Ball coming in. I mean, even like at Everton, like with their current manager Marco Silva trying to turn over all Sam Allardyce's signings. I mean, he plays a completely different way to that.
100%. It just shows the benefit of longevity.
It does, really, doesn't it?
And going back to the point of selling well, I mean, they've got 30 million for Benteke, they've got 20 million for Dom Solanke. They're just...
They got 15 million for... who's the backup?
He went to Leicester, Danny Ward.
Danny Ings got really good money for it.
Danny Ings as well. I mean, they're just... Yeah, they're just killing it.
Is he on loan?
Oh, he's on loan, yeah.
There we go. Bayo, got big questions in. I did a journalism degree, and I'm asking the big questions. It's from John Jenkinson. He says, what were you just snacking on?
Cashew nuts.
Cashew nuts?
Yeah, it's a
Are
healthy.
those some of your favourites?
Yeah, I'm trying to, like the dry type with no salt on it. So I used to try and
Good source of protein.
I like bourbons at one time, and I found out bourbons weren't the best. Yeah, bourbons.
Oh,
yeah,
that's my favourite biscuit.
So yeah, I know. So
we should
now
do them all together.
So now I'm on a cashew thing now. Next
time you meet up, Will, you provide the biscuits.
Oh, I'd smash a bourbon cream right now. Howard Anderson's back in. He says, this would be quite interesting from my perspective, which Championship team would you be most excited to see in the Premiership next season? Or do you not really care?
I don't
We've got Norwich coming up. Leeds might be back in. Obviously, a huge
I'd probably
team.
go Leeds. I haven't really followed the Championship that closely this year. It's been quite painful after our slip out of it last year, quite embarrassingly. But yeah, Leeds, look like a proper side as well. Norwich as well. Sheffield United are in the mix as well.
Could see Aston Villa coming back up as well.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just be interesting because Fulham have shown almost how not to do it this year.
Yeah.
Spent over 100 million, but brought in so many players with no Premier League experience. And I know it's such an old football cliche, but I actually do think it makes a big difference. And their defence, they lost some of their bedrocks of their defence last year, who were only on loan, like Matty Target. And yeah, they've just been the disappointment of the year, probably team-wise. And yeah, Wolves have done the complete opposite, but they are backed by Chinese owners and have Jorge Mendes, so it will be interesting.
It's what we all need, isn't it, Duke?
Exactly, a little Jorge.
I like that.
4 minutes left. Huge.
Cool.
Okay, are you guys ready for your last price boost?
Oh, yeah. Dave, hit me with a price boost, brother.
Okay, it involves Sadio Mane. All right, basically, score brace. He was 16-1. He's now 18-1. He's only got 4 minutes to do it, but Drayton can do it.
He can do it now!
No!
Oh, yes. Obviously, you have to be over 18 to bet. See skybet.com for full terms and conditions and the latest odds.
Dave, if that doesn't happen, I'll be very surprised.
Yes.
That's a fantastic offer. Unbelievable.
So what has he done there?
Kepa just looked like he had enough there.
You know what I rate about Verge as well? Like, he can spray the ball, but when he has to get rid of it,
It just goes.
it just goes.
Yeah.
He did that in the
It
celebration as well, didn't
It just got, for me, that's why I like, listen, it's like, boy, if I got to put it into Rosetta at the stadium, I will. Yeah. And that's what I rate, man.
Did you see him kick the ball out the stadium the other day in his celebration?
That's my guy, man.
Yeah, I remember particularly
You see this? Just give
that Mane goal versus Bayern Munich. It's a great shot from behind Van Dijk, and the amount of curl he gets on this ball, about 60-yard pass into Mane's path, turns around Neuer and knocks into empty net. He's an exceptional passer. He's just got everything. Yeah. He's also built like a Greek god. He's just one of those, seemingly got everything.
Other gods are available.
See skybet.com. That's it. What do we reckon?
You know, we look good in the second half.
Yeah.
You've been pressed that, and they turned the tempo up, didn't they?
Yeah, we looked good in the second half. We went for a 10-minute spell after we scored, where Chelsea kind of ripped up their rule book and just came at us. But we've looked good in the second half.
Yeah, it would have been difficult if they could at least got one back, you know, when they had that little 5-minute spell. But Mane,
He's not wanting to get a shot off there.
he's ridiculous, isn't he?
Stay like this. What's a corner?
Again, he's like another player. When they signed him for the amount that they did, everyone was like, that's a ridiculous signing. But now it looks like
30
peanuts.
million,
It looks
exactly.
like absolute peanuts now.
Yeah,
you know,
awesome.
Shift him on for 150,
Yeah,
probably.
I think he's got a contract until 2023 as well. I think all three of them have a contract until at least 2022.
So here comes the final sub of Liverpool. Looks like Shaqiri's coming on. We know who's coming on for.
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah. Do you reckon it's a good that sub?
Yeah.
Yeah.
None, man. He
do
could have
now,
took
yeah.
any of the front three up. No, to be fair, keep Firmino on. Could take either side of them off.
What
Let's have
goal.
another
look
at this.
Look at this.
Jorginho's got to get there faster, man. You have to.
It's just so nice.
I don't know what that celebration is, but I like it.
The Buddha.
Zen, but I'm Zen.
Oh, what a
fantastic.
performance.
He just looks like a really, 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 really nice guy.
Yeah?
Yeah, seemingly.
Well,
He's zero-minded. You can know he wants to do well.
Yeah.
And even when they asked the question about did he think about passing, he was like, nah, man. Like, you can see that he demands for himself, he demands from others.
Yeah.
And it's good, man.
yeah, but that's what we want for your striker, don't you? You don't want him looking to pass when he's through on goal, do you? You know,
No, I think,
Yeah.
especially with that Southampton chance, though, with all the... Like, it kind of built up to be this thing, didn't it? And then he absolutely tucked it away off the post.
So nice.
You know, you want your number 9, or whatever number, you know, to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Go on and score. As you're saying, kind of that's
Which
one
is
of the
why
things
when I
that-
looked at Higuain, you know, you've got the shot and you've got the pass. You your instinct should be hit
wanna
that
score,
ball.
yeah.
Greediness almost.
Gents, so we have got a huge title race coming in now. So City, we've spoken about their running being slightly harder than Liverpool's, but obviously no easy games. But who are City most likely to drop points against? Do we think it would be United, Spurs, both of them, neither? And that's from Ben 472.
Well, I think Spurs showed this week that they can cause City damage. Even though there wasn't that many chances either way in the game, they slightly sort of checked each other out in a way.
I feel that Man United will just roll over.
Do you reckon?
Roll over because they would not want Liverpool winning the league.
I mean, everyone thought that last year.
But they're in a race of their own.
They're in a race of their own, exactly. Everyone thought that last year, and then they got that famous 3-2 victory.
But I think City's going to whoop Tottenham.
In the league,
yeah, I think as well.
I think City's going to be like, you beat us at home.
Yeah.
I think City going to whoop them.
Really?
Yeah, because as you say, when we were talking earlier,
I hope they don't, but I think they are.
In the Champions League, if Aguero scores that penalty, that's a complete different game.
Exactly.
You know, and they win 2-3 potentially.
Yeah, they get an away goal. I mean, I've never seen Pep City side set up so defensively.
Strange, wasn't it?
They were playing for a draw. I think he just had the ghost of Anfield last year when they got beaten 3-0 and conceded 3 in the first 30, and he was just so determined to not let that happen and get. You know, it's a 180-minute tie. They're still in it, and that penalty makes all the difference. It was a good save by Lloris. Who's obviously come in for quite a lot of criticism recently.
I think this second half has been an extremely professional performance on Liverpool.
Yeah.
You said they had that 5-minute spell.
Yeah.
Chelsea have made it easier by bringing on Higuain instead of bringing on Giroud when you're 2-0 down.
Yeah.
Great foul.
And you know what you have to do.
That's the one thing you talk to me as a Chelsea.
Yeah.
Giroud didn't have a shot in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Didn't score. But they won it.
Yeah.
So therefore, everybody around him, he made a better player.
Yeah.
How can Chelsea then not use him more? It baffles me. I think he's so underrated. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think he's the best. I think he is a second striker, like he's a backup striker. But I think he's probably the best one in the league, and we don't use him. You know, and you don't even use him for him. Fair enough, you would use someone like him for Hudson-Odoi, for example, because he's going to beat a man and whip that ball in, and then you've got a 6
What are you doing there, idiot?
Come on, boys. But even now, you see, look how much possession Chelsea have in wide areas.
Yeah.
And you can't knock it in now because...
Make it...
Look, no one's even on the 6-yard line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No one who wants to head the ball in this team.
Yeah.
But that's what Liverpool would... Doing tactics, they would always say show them wide.
Yeah.
Show them wide because if they put it in the box, there's nobody to head it in.
Exactly.
So that's...
As soon as you see the team sheet, you know that. You know, all you've got to worry about is the kind of scurrying inside channel runs from the
Blow the whistle, blow the whistle.
That's got to be it.
Blow it, blow it.
Yeah!
Yeah! Yeah! Come on now. Hey, listen. Coming on this show, and you lot trying to make me sit over there. Are you mad? They trying to make me sit over there. Trying to mess up the luck. The luck. I'm coming on every show when Liverpool plays because we haven't lost when I sat here. But, yes. So let's go to you. About you ain't lost in 7 years. I told you. Today was the day.
You know why I'm okay? Because I'm going to get... I might not... Either way, I'm getting into Champions League this year. I'll go win the Europa.
Yeah?
I'll go win the Europa.
That's cool.
I'll do it.
I'll go
win that. And you know what? It will be a very, very good progressive year for Liverpool. But you're not going to win anything.
Yeah. Listen, let's just talk about today. 2-0. Yeah, I told you, man. You're talking a big talk. Listen, let's rewind it back. Where it's like, I'm not even scared.
You won it in 3 minutes. You won it in 3 minutes.
Anfield. I'm like, yeah.
3 minutes.
Us man at home, you know. Us man be doing some big things at home, you know. I said that. Second half, Klopp said to them. Let me tell you what Klopp said. Klopp said, hey, listen, man, did you get me? Got to move it a little bit faster. Because them man ain't really doing much. Right. And then give it to Salah. Yeah. Coming on your left, bang it top bins. Man said, all right, say no more. So
what do you think Sarri's team talk was?
He said, listen, man,
I reckon he sat there and just...
It's going to be peak for you, man, and we're going to lose 2-0. But show me no heart. You get me? No, I'm not even playing like that. To be fair, I said I was nervous. I said second half, we up the tempo. Yeah. 10 minutes in the second half when if Hazard had scored the first, hit the post, it would have been a different thing. Yeah. But I do think that Sarri's substitutions didn't help, which was, I know you're jumping on them. Yeah. I'm more afraid of Giroud. I would have been more afraid of your plan B with Giroud coming off, Hazard coming in that number 10 wide. because when he was there, it was a problem. But we got the points. I know City's looking at it like, raw, Liverpool won again, which is good. Their big game, their big test is Tottenham. So, well, if Carlsberg can make weekends, it would have been today.
Or any other BS.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Klopp did
yeah,
that one.
Anyway, sorry, my back. Because
there's other, you know,
other people,
weekends can be made available. You know,
exactly,
exactly.
what they said. Because they jump on me.
But to be fair, Liverpool, this is all they can do. They got to is just keep winning, right? And then the pressure goes back on City now.
Yeah.
You know, massive free.
Look, you know what? If Liverpool win every game and
it's still not enough. At least
and
you've done
City,
it.
You've done it, and then you then look back and say, well, it was the game at Leicester where we drew that we messed up, and you can. But all you can do is win your games.
Yeah.
So. The way it was arcs, Tottenham came, we beat them. Chelsea came, we beat them. That's all Liverpool can do, and hope City drop points, and that's all we can do, and that does look nice.
That's nice. Liverpool back at the top of the table.
What chance is still top 4? Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're about to go to our table now. It's looking nice from Liverpool point of view, right?
Yeah.
You know, obviously Liverpool, City. It's the thing. Obviously, we're talking. It's up to City to try and actually catch them now, right? You know, and
yeah, I mean, again, I said this prior, innit? I still think City are favourites.
Yeah.
You know, and if City do what they do and win all their games, they win it. So City ain't got to do anything different.
Yeah.
They just got to win their games, not just but.
Yeah.
So I still think City are favourites, but when you looked at the fixtures prior, the 2 fixtures that stood out
was the 2 that's gone.
Were the 2 that's gone, and that Liverpool have won.
We got to Liverpool's winning fixtures there. They're all definitely on there. So
start carving it, Dave. Look at that. That's phenomenal.
So look at that. Do you think that they'll win? Do you think they'll win away at Cardiff?
For me, I think this Liverpool team seem mentally stronger than anyone back in the day when, you know, they went to Crystal Palace and drew 3-3. You know, this team looks. So you would look at it, and I know on paper, but I think. If you're going to pick fixtures, you're going to pick that. Okay. And even to Wolves on the 12th of May, it's at Anfield. And whatever result Liverpool need on that last day, Liverpool's going to get. That's what I feel.
So you think wins for next?
I think City will drop points. I don't think they'll lose. I think they will drop points.
Liverpool are going to beat Cardiff, Huddersfield, Newcastle. Who's in charge of them? Rafa Benitez. He's going to lie down for a little tickle. Go on, boys, we're safety. Got nothing left to play for.
I think we can now look at Man City's remaining fixtures to see where they potentially could drop points here. So I think it's coming. There's some tough games there, isn't it? Even like the actual Leicester game, at home, like, you know. And obviously, if they obviously beat Spurs, then they'll be in the semi-final of the Champions League during that period as well. Will they potentially rest some players in these games as well? So going through these games now, do you think they'll beat Spurs at home?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll beat United at Old Trafford?
I'm hoping they won't.
So you think that's going to be the fixture?
I think like anything, and of course football never runs this way. But you would say the next 2 back-to-back is where you're like, it's their most toughest test. Going to Old Trafford,
it's always tough.
It's going to be tough because, like you said, if they're trying to get Champions League, so that's big, and that's the only reason why I'm a bit for United to step up, because they want Champions League. So them the 2 games, but then look, Burnley away. You know, this is what I'm saying. I can't see them losing, but I can see them drawing. Like, you know, Burnley, Leicester. For me, they're going to whoop Brighton, and I'm no disrespect, but I think they will. But them the next 4 games, I can see them dropping. I don't know about losing, but I can see.
Last day of the season.
Guaranteeing.
Jamie Mackie turned into Messi, and they were 2-1 down.
I think we're going to have some questions on socials now. Apparently, So if you do have any questions, get them in now. You know, we're still live.
Yes, Dave, get them in. Final questions for the panel at Football Daily at SoccerM using the hashtag #TheFootballSocial. First one, very easy. A big debate though. Who do we think was man of the match today? There's a few contenders.
It's got to be Mo Salah. It has to be. Has to be Mo Salah.
You know what? I'll give it. Firmino was on job as well, second half.
Jordan Henderson as well.
But Salah, with that, and then to be even after he scored, he was just on something else as well. So I'd give it to Salah.
Stepping up in the big moments, probably, you know, in the top 3 goals of the season. We're just seeing an absolute ping. I know, this is the first goal. But yeah, stepping up in the big moments, looked like he was going to grab another one as well, driving his team forward. He was the go-to man all day. They were always giving it down to him. Mane had a relatively quiet game in comparison in terms of how much ball he saw. But yeah, well done, Salah. Another incredible performance from him.
To be fair, before the game, you said Mane to score and Liverpool win 2-0, didn't you? So...
I said 2-1, to be fair.
2-1?
Yeah, I said 2-1.
So someone said, didn't you say 2-0?
I said 3-1.
I said 2-0. I said Salah score first, though.
Well, combination.
Is there any questions?
Yeah, question from King Clive. He says, how will the Champions League impact the title race?
That's a good question.
Lots of permutations there, isn't there?
Well, it looks like Liverpool are going to go through against Porto, barring a massive, massive shock. But obviously, if they go through that, they could potentially play Man United or Barcelona. It looks like it's going to be Barcelona, which is going to take a lot out of them as well. I mean, and then City, if they go through, they'll play Juventus or Ajax, who are two great sides as well. So I don't actually think you could say that it's going to be swing it one way or the other, to be honest. Obviously, City have the harder game and they've got more to do against Spurs than Liverpool do against Porto. So if it's going to make any impact, it'll make an impact in the next 10 days.
I think Pep would prefer to win the Champions League rather than the league. So I think he might potentially put more eggs in that basket.
And vice versa from Liverpool,
I'd say. Yeah, vice versa the other way.
Dan, what about yourself?
Yeah, I think it will tell in the next probably 10 days or so. I think, isn't the Man U City game in between? I mean, sorry, the Man City Tottenham game in between. Man City. It's just a horrible 10 days for them.
End.
So
Spurs twice and Man United.
I don't expect City to go and win all 3 games. I'm not sure which one's going to be the one that gives, but I have a feeling they'll drop points there. I think there's a lot less pressure on Liverpool going forward. 2 big chances. But I just always lean towards City because City know how to do it and know how to do it the hard way.
Yeah, I've done it before. I mean, they look like they're back on form today in their victory over Palace, but I wasn't that impressed with City against Brighton in the FA Cup semi-final. I wasn't impressed with them that much against Spurs. But yeah, it looked like they were back at their best today. KDB with some comments that he thought Ilkay Gundogan and Bernardo Silva were better in the big games than Kevin De Bruyne. Wow. Which is quite a statement to make about your player of the year last year. But do you think you're saying that to get more out of KDB? I'm not quite sure, to be fair. That to me is it could well be, but it seemed like a bizarre statement. Maybe trying to fire him up, as you say. I'm not sure. What would that do for you, Bear, if you heard comments like that? If my gaffer said that you weren't a big game players player ahead of you and you weren't a big game player. It depends how I get on with my manager. Yeah. You know, if I felt like he was doing that for a reaction and he had told me this. I always think that as long as I'm not hearing it for the first time in the press, it's a problem. Yeah. If my manager's gone to me and like, B, listen, for some reason in these big games, you don't seem like you're the same player, then they ask him why you're not playing B, and he's like, listen, I've heard it. You know what I'm saying? I've heard it before, so it's not. So for me, I'll have my saying. I'll be like, well, I don't think it's me, whatever the weather is. You know what I'm saying? I think as long as he's had a conversation with KDB, I'm not saying it's bad, but you're just being honest. I think sometimes people have got this thing about muddle cuddling players. Like, as long as you've got a relationship with your player and he's not hearing it first on the papers, Twitter, and then you want to come out and he's not saying it and he's just saying, listen, I feel... Yeah. And sometimes it is, you want to hear the manager's like, OK, let me see your response now. Show me that I've got it wrong. Yeah. I was just about to say, he'll know De Bruyne better than anyone. And if he works off friction with his manager, then maybe it'll be a good thing. Yeah. Dave, one final one for me. Bayo, you've seen it a few times on the Football Social, but if you score for Wickham in the remaining games, can we see you grab one of your Wickham's teammates?
Let me tell you something. I was planning to do it, but then I didn't score for like 3 games after I did it. And then when I scored yesterday, it was more relief than anything. But I'm telling you, 4 games next time I score, like hopefully it's Friday, if I'm that, that's coming out. Bing, bing, boom, 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 boom.
Walsall? Did you say it was Walsall?
Rochdale's our next game.
Rochdale, we're coming for you.
Well, I think that's all we've got time for. I think we've got a little promo for the next time we're on. I think it's Man United versus Chelsea. I think that is. Yes, it is on Sunday the 28th of April. Yeah.
You're screwing, man.
Well, do you know what? At least for me, it's a 6-pointer. So if we beat United, then we effectively we can take their top 4 spot from them.
Yeah.
So we have to. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Well, we're just going to have a quick look at the best bits of the show. But before we do, thank you everyone for getting involved. Dukes, Dan,
thanks for having me.
Bayo.
Thank you.
Will, pleasure.
Well played, Dave. Great performance by you as well, Dave.
Yeah, yes.
Smitty who?
Yeah.
Have we said Mane would score first.
that's
oh
right.
my days.
Bale, we were...
That had to go in.
Oh my goodness,
for Chelsea.
my mic's blind.
See the game out.
Oh, Liverpool need someone just
Get
to
off.
feign an injury for 5 minutes.
This game is exhausting.
Yeah.
Take a...
Boy, if I've got to put it into Rosetta at the stadium, I will.
4 minutes left. Huge.
Cool. Blow it. Blow it.
Yeah!
Come on now. Hey, listen.
Go on.
I'm coming on this show, and you lot trying to make me sit over there. Are you mad? They trying to make me sit over there. Trying to mess up the luck. The luck. I'm coming on every show when Liverpool plays, because we haven't lost when I'm sat here. But, yes. So let's go to you.